Hello, beautiful people. We are here for our Horror Saturdays, our KillerCon live horror panel. And today we are talking all things Blade, Black vampires, vampire movies, iconic sidekicks. We talking it all, okay? We talking the Daywalker. So if you are ready, I want you to go ahead and sit back, get yourself together, and we are about to get into all things this horror panel has to offer you. And I want you guys to please warmly welcome my panel that is here with me every Saturday, dedicated to bringing you guys horror on a Saturday when, we could be out doing all kind of things in these streets, but we here. Y'all, we got to have a blurred. We got to have a blur on the panel. Y'all, please show some love to my girl, Kay Blah of Slice of Horror. Baby just hit 1K subs, so she hot in these YouTube streets. Kay, are you ready to talk the Daywalker?
I am. And I better see some super chats over here. I ain't dressing up no more.
I see you got the stunner shades on.
Yeah, I was trying to come in and get in the. If I'm gonna talk about Blade, I got to channel Blade. So I'm trying to channel Blade right now. So I'm doing this for y'all. I'm doing this for everybody.
We appreciate the dedication, Kay. And of course, if it's 80s horror, if it's some boobies, if it's nakedness, she gonna be here for it. Y'all, please give a warm welcome to my girl, Tyra of Struggle Reviews TV. She trying to get to her 3K subs. Y'all run it up. Tyra, are you ready to talk the Daywalker?
Yeah, because like you said, we got to be here. All right, it's Saturday. It's Saturday. We devoted, showing up, giving y'all this good horror. Show some love. Run it up in the chat. Hit that like button. Of course, I'm ready to talk about Blade. Blade is everything.
He absolutely is. And I have not watched Blade in years, but I actually just rewatched it like an hour ago. And it is still as iconic as ever. So, of course, we are going to get into what makes Blade a classic. And as someone who, I was there, okay, I was in the streets when this came out. And by in the streets, I mean like I was about 12. But I was in the streets when this came out. I remember this coming out. I remember how big of a deal this was, how huge it was. And for anyone who doesn't know, okay, a black man saved Marvel. Okay, Wesley Snipes did that. Y'all would not have Iron Man and all that Marvel has to offer if it was not for Blade. Okay. So what makes this a classic, Tyra? Why is Blade a classic? Or is it a classic? Maybe everybody doesn't think it is.
Hell yeah, it's a classic. Who said that? Because you lied. This is absolutely a classic. Wesley Snipes makes this movie a classic. I don't think this movie works without Wesley Snipes. Like anybody else in this role, because he cared. Like he studied and really went through the process to bring this character from the page to the movie. Like he was passionate about it, so he showed up and showed out like only he could. And then just like a like a Bruce Lee, a Jackie Chan, like he doesn't get any credit for doing his own stunts and being really thick with the martial arts. Like Wesley be whooping ass in real life, and you got to be able to bring that to this. Like he was a black vampire, and that's, its own separate thing because we didn't see a whole lot of that or just black lead in a movie, but he was a cool vampire, like period. Like no other vampire looked like Blade. The way he dressed, I think at that time it was 98. I was in the streets. I was 8. I was in the streets too. I was 8. I can remember going to see this. Called the Metro bus to go and see Blade. And then we snuck out of Blade and went and seen how Stella got her groove back. It was showing at the same time. But this was just, I can remember everybody in the theater. Like, I don't remember everything verbatim, but there were a lot of like everybody's just so excited. The theater this is a hood theater. This is a Magic Johnson theater. It was full of black folks, and black people were happy just to see us on the screen and him just be as cool as he was. Like now and before, there has never been another vampire that looked like Blade. I'm not, pale face, sucking in. I'm not giving you traditional Transylvanian vampire. No, I'm a black vampire, and I got on this leather trench coat with a I don't know what that fade is or what that cut is. I don't know what that is. I don't know, but It's fire.
I love that haircut. I love his whole look. And it's so interesting that you said about black vampires because just in my lifetime of watching a horror, you know, we already know like certain things. But of course, when we get ready for KillerCon, I still want to dig and kind of look up. And I'm like, baby, where the black vampires? Like, we do not have a lot. Now, I never saw Twilight, but when I was looking up black vampires, we had a fake ass dreadlock wig black vampire in Twilight, which I was surprised. But I'm like, we do not have very many black vampires, and we do not have a lot of black vampires who lead the movie. So yeah, oh God. And this is another one of those moments where I'm so surprised it did not create a resurgence. Like, why didn't we get a flood of black vampires and black vampire leads? But I also agree that this would not be classic without Wesley Snipes. Like, I'm sorry, it just would not. And I remember like reading that they wanted Denzel for this role. It was some other people they wanted. Denzel is Denzel, but nobody could be Blade except Wesley Snipes. I think there are certain roles where no one else can play it. Like, and this is one of those roles. And I think what also makes this a classic with Wesley is, like you said, the real life mastery that he put behind this, the real life art of war as Wesley Snipes that he wanted to bring to this, his style of dress, even his attitude, certain stuff he says in the movie is just so motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. The writer didn't put that in there. I know that was Wesley. That was
definitely Wesley. No, when them cops shoot at Wesley, motherfucker, you watch your damn mind. That is Wesley. That one on the paper. That one on the paper.
It absolutely was not in the script. Like, I know that was Wesley. Like, we always talk about Samuel L. Jackson saying motherfucker, but Wesley up there too. But something else that is so iconic in this movie and stands the test of time, we got a mix of everything. We got some badass fight scenes. Like, the fight scenes in this movie, the fight choreography is on 10. And my favorite has always been that little black girl that was in there. Oh my God, she was so fly. Child, I walked out the theater at 12 kicking in the air because that little black girl was everything. But we got a mix of everything. We got some good gore. When we explode the vampires with the little serum that Karen made, when Deacon Frost goes to take the pure blood vampire to die in the sun, and we literally see his skin like melting off. We got a mix of everything. And there's a heart to the story as well, which I always love. Kay, what makes Blade a classic, or is it a classic? How do you feel about Blade?
Y'all, that was my answer. It's Wesley Snipes. Like, he cultivated Blade's voice, the way he talked, his cadence, his tone. He dropped his voice pitch for Blade. I mean, we seen a black vamp, not just a Hollywood socially acceptable, racially ambiguous person. We got, Midnight Black Wesley Snipes, who was running the 90s. Running the 90s with New Jack City and Demolition Man, and he was in Waiting to Exhale. Wesley Snipes, one of my dad's favorite movies, Money Train. Wesley Snipes was all over the 90s, and so this was just like icing on the cake right here. Like, what else could you ask for in a movie? We have vampires, we got ass kicking in the movie, we got strong black leads in the movie. Even the black lady in the movie, she's a doctor. They gave her a good job. She wasn't just some damsel in distress he found off the street. Everything about this movie makes it a classic.
I also really like the atmosphere in this movie. I want to talk about that just for a second. Like, the atmosphere of Blade is really, really cool. Like, just the tempo, because you get the cinematography in the way that it looks, but like just the smoke on the streets, just like the landscape of where they are, the soundtrack. It's like this neo-noir, like dark, like black quality to the film, especially at nighttime. Just seeing him walk around in that wind blowing in a leather coat, it's everything. It's everything. The atmosphere is really great for this movie.
Yeah, I agree. And the music was such great music choice. Of course, the iconic blood rave scene with that techno music. But I also, when we got to them Asian girls rapping or whatever the hell they was doing that damn thing, like it kind of just worked for me. Like I was like, do I need to get into the Asian girls rapping? Like everything was so good. And like you said, the whole atmosphere, like the world that they create with this movie is so immersive, and it really feels like nothing else looks like this. No other world that has been created in the movie, whether it was 98 or now, looks like the world of Blade, like at all. They did everything with this movie, and with even like you said with the characters, I loved the character of Karen. She, like you said, she was not the stereotypical just female side character that would be thrown in, because you have the main heroine, and typically the woman come in. Baby, Karen was not useless. Karen was fighting. Karen was like Nuck if you buck vampires. Karen was coming up with serums and cures, and she was smart. She was intelligent. I love Karen. I love Karen so much. She was gorgeous. Yeah.
Because then it was in the bush, so she was fine. Don't leave that out. She was fine. Okay, put that on there. She was looking good.
Yeah, Karen was gorgeous. Karen was gorgeous. And of course, as always, even with good, there's sometimes some bad. And we are going to get into our best and worst scenes of the movie. And I'm going to start with the worst, because there is a scene that are effects that has always bothered me. And I rewatched it today and it still bothered me. Baby, when they turned Deacon Frost into the blood god, and then he get chopped in half and that dumbass like blood split him in half. I hate that fucking scene. That blood looks terrible. When Deacon Frost's hand is like the blood hand and it regenerates, and the effects in the movie are actually really good. Like I was watching today, like the effects are amazing,
the practical ones.
Yes, but that CGI blood god mess that they did with Deacon Frost was not working. Kay, do you have a worse scene in Blade?
I think my answer is the best and the worst scene, because they happen around the same time. So are we still on worst?
Worst.
Okay, I didn't notice this until later on in life, and now I can't unsee it. But when he is in ass kicking mode at the end of the movie, everybody's waiting for their ass whooping. Like they not bum rushing him. Like if it's like him and this guy fighting, the other ones are standing on the side like this.
That's how action movies always do.
Okay, y'all. You dropped him. Okay, let me drop in. I'm like, so y'all just standing by and waiting to get dropped. That's what we're doing. We're not even gonna pretend to try to go at them. We're gonna double team. No, everybody who got their ass kicked, they stood and waited for it. Why?
Yeah, that's what they do it in John Wick. They do it in every single action movie. The goons, the bad guys, they stand in line and they wait their turn. Tyra, do you have a worse scene in Blade?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Like, okay, you already mentioned the blood scene. That was a choice. That's the only part of the end. They have some other CGI things there, but that one sticks out like a sore thumb. Any scene that has Sanaa Lathan in it, okay? I hate all those scenes. She ruins the tempo of the film for me. Anytime Sanaa popped out and said, Eric,
I should have known, because anytime she come on screen, Tyra is gonna come out with some shade.
No, I will admit, like, Sanaa grew on me and grew with her roles. She is, a Nepo baby. She was, thrust into the industry. Like, for whatever reason. And this is like, I think this is Sanaa's like first role, and then it's Love and Basketball. Like this was she had just popped out. It just wasn't doing what I needed to do. I needed her to just be the dying mother. She needed to come back and handle lines. We didn't need that. Her scene in the hospital was well enough, but Eric, I'm your mother. I didn't. Oh God, that pisses me off every time. I will throw the whole TV away just because of that. And that ending like post-credit scene that they clearly shot after the movie was over, and Wesley no longer had that damn haircut, and they slapped that wig on Wesley's head talking about he gonna need some more of that serum. What? Who did that? I cannot stand. Like, that is a very special haircut. Like, for whatever reason, you try to slap that wig on Wesley and pan the camera over from Karen and say, yeah, I'm gonna need some more of that serum. Like, we weren't supposed to notice. Don't do that. Go back and look at that post-credit scene before, Mother Sucker's ice skating up here. After that goes and he's over there They should have ended it off with Wesley in Russia. Him in Russia and speaking this with Russian and doing this with a sword. We could have stopped there. We didn't need him to tell Karen, I'm gonna need some more of that serum and put that wig on his head.
Well, if anybody gonna spot out some bad hair and
go look at it, it's terrible.
No, don't look at it. Do not look at it. Don't do it.
Don't
do it because I can't watch Vampire in Brooklyn the same after Tyra. Do not do. If you want to mess up your idea of something, don't listen to Tyra.
You know what? I am not a post-credit scene person. I literally never knew Blade had a post-credit scene. I just thought it ended at Russia, but now I want to go watch the post-credit.
No, like they pick and choose because they know it was bad. They pick and choose when they're gonna put it in there. Like it's right before the Russian scene. Sometimes they take it out, sometimes they leave it in there. But he had that wig on, and it's tragic.
Okay, yeah, I've never seen that. But I'm not a post-credit scene kind of person. But when I tell you, Sanaa Lathan is one of those actresses for me that can't act, but I find her very likable. But you, goddamn Tyra, like you hit it with the Eric. You wouldn't kill your mother. I'm your mother. Oh my God, it is like a sword. It's a sword. But Sanaa Lathan gonna do what she does best. That is look fucking gorgeous. Like Sanaa Lathan is gorgeous. She has a great screen presence. She was looking fly in the movie, and she's one of those actresses I can forgive the bad acting because I find her likable.
I'm now looking for post-credit scene. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to see the post-credit. I ain't never even knew it was post-credit scene.
I thought everybody saw that. I thought it was just part of the movie.
No, I've never. All I know is about the Russian.
Yeah, but you see when they came out in the daytime, it was like after he done, whooped everybody's ass.
Had a wig on.
They walked out, and she was just like, like she was offering him, the little thing she made, and he was like, "No, I don't want that." I don't want that. Give me another serum. You remember when he said that?
I see here somebody has a new member, Joshua Hughes.
So Joshua, thank you. Welcome to the girl.
He was in our Reasonable Doubt live last night.
Said he was pulling up and he did. Thank you.
Well, shout out to the new members. And on that note, let's cut to our first commercial break.
A loving cup. We accept a one of us. We accept a one of us.
Goober gobble, goober gobble.
We accept her. Goober gobble, goober gobble. One of us. One of us. Goober gobble.
They're going to make you one of them.
If you would like to get exclusive perks, access, KillerCon after party, members only watch alongs, exclusive content, make sure you join the channel memberships on Night of Horror, channel memberships on Slice of Horror, Struggle Reviews TV. And I also see we have some super chats. Guys, we have our Viewer's Choice segment at the very end of the episode. If you would like to access a question, topic, horror verses, or anything along those lines, we will get to them in our Viewer's Choice segment.
What's your pleasure?
What's your pleasure, Mr. Cotton?
What's your pleasure?
Mm-hmm.
So thank you guys so much for the participation in Viewer's Choice. I see we got some super chats, and I will be sure to get to them in our Viewer's Choice segment. Now, before we get into our best scenes of Blade, Tyra, do we have that terrible post-credit scene?
Absolutely. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Put it up there. Now, see, look at here, because I'm a detailed person.
I thought everybody saw it. I don't want to see.
We
I don't want to see
out of the cave here. Sun is out. All the Deacon Frost. Everybody's vanquished. Okay, everybody's dead. The wig is not here. See, this is not wig. It's Wesley in this cut. We chilling.
Oh, I know this scene. When you said post-credit scene, I thought you meant like
pre. Sometimes
I know
they remove it, and sometimes they don't. And then when we do this here, there's no wig. We just chilling. Look good. It's cut. And then we skip like 30 seconds, and then we decide to do this weird stuff that we didn't. What is that? What is that? We didn't need that. This upsets me every time. This upsets me every time. We didn't need this. Don't ever do this again.
They said they're gonna fix it in post.
See, this is the stuff I pay attention to in films, clearly. And
I never noticed that.
It bothers me. Like, well, don't do that. Then it was such an unnecessary scene. We didn't need this. We just could have skipped to, especially since, you know, what we could get into. They didn't even follow through and have Karen in any of the rest of the film.
Which ain't make no sense.
Like, but that's where I was.
But I think we needed that scene because Karen made a cure. So I guess they wanted to wrap that up with Blade. Well, instead of the audience being like, well, hey, what happened to that cure? Why is he still a daywalker? Blade had to let the audience know, nah, it's still vamps out there for me to get. I can't take the cure. I can't be human just yet. So I think it was necessary for the story. But when I tell you, Tyra, that is not the scene I thought you were talking about. Because when you said a bad wig,
this is a bad wig. This is a bad wig for me.
I have never noticed that.
Bad. I'm gonna notice a wig.
I guess I don't have a keen eye for the details because hey Sam, I've never seen Blade. Sam, we not cool no more. We not cool no more.
I'm in the house waiting for my friends.
I need you to go watch Blade. I know Brandon done seen Blade. Now Brandon ain't gonna never let me down. Sam, I need you to get on it, hun. But getting into the best scene of the movie, I think that, of course, that blood rave scene, that introduction of Blade scene is forever iconic. But outside of that, my favorite scene is when I feel like Whistler, okay, they're in the scene where we were down there in the archives with that little like fat, weird vampire. Deacon Frost and his crew come and Blade start laughing like, I'm expecting company. And Whistler busts in the wall and he's like, I catch you fuckers at a bad time. Like, I love Whistler so much. I love that scene. I think that's a great scene because Whistler is so iconic to me. And I love Whistler. Like, he's older, his leg is messed up, but Whistler come in to save the day. And the whole movie, Blade get to drop all the MFers. But this is when Whistler got to come in and have a real fly line. Kay, what do you think is the best scene of the movie?
Okay, y'all might think it's cheesy, but to me, when he catch them shades out of nowhere in perfect unison and get that's what's my favorite scene and my worst scene is in the same area, and he catch them shades. That's when you know it's real, and he gets ass kicking like that.
No, that is a great scene. The music, he killed Deacon Frost's right hand man vampire. The shades go up in the air. And the music kicks in. That is a great scene.
Yes, it is. It is.
I would also say another one of my favorites is, like I said, that little black girl. That little black girl was everything to me when I was a kid. Like you never saw nothing like that. Like that little black girl being able to have that moment to shine. Now I knew that little girl knew karate in real life. Like they had to go find her in a real karate class with Jackie Chan somewhere. Like that girl was kicking Blade. But Tyra, what would you say is the best scene of the movie?
It's definitely the intro. Like it's one of the best introductions of a character like you'll ever see. It's perfect. It introduces us to Blade in the best way and knows like don't play with him. he ain't one of them. Like it's perfect. I love the ending showdown. Like the fight is everything. And And I love the train scene. The train scene, it has some strong impact in the movie, them running, because it really looked like they'd be about to get got. The scene is shot to where it looks like they're running really, really fast. And it's like, I know we ain't finna grab this damn train. you just feel like, are they gonna make it? You're just a little unsure. So I love that scene as well.
And what I found so interesting with the fact that I haven't seen this movie in years and I revisited the movie, every time someone talks about Blade or talk about opening scenes in general, I always talk about the blood rave. So when I went to rewatch it, I was like, wait, that ain't even how the movie opened. Like, why did I think that's how the movie opens with his mom in a house? And I'm like, for some reason in my memory, the movie opens at that blood rave. And that's a part of the opening sequence. But I thought that's how the movie actually opened. I was like, oh shoot, okay. Like I remembered it a little wrong. But it is freaking iconic. But of course we have to get into who is Eric Blade. And I love the whole just lore of this. I feel like, has there ever been a character like Blade? Like, not to my knowledge. He's pretty much in the position where his mom was pregnant and she got bit by a vampire, and her baby in her stomach was Eric Blade, and the mom dies and Eric becomes a half human, half vampire. So he has all the strengths of the vampires. He does age unlike vampires, but he has, he can regenerate and he has the thirst. Now, the one thing that was a little confusing to me but maybe this is thinking too deep into it. Whistler found Blade when he was 13 years old, like eating rats and homeless people. How did Blade survive? Because nobody was feeding him blood as a baby and a toddler. Like, how was he surviving if he only can live off the serum or the blood? That, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's thinking too hard into it. But I was like, well, wait a minute. He met Whistler till he was 13, and baby needs blood. And how the baby got blood? But Tyra, who is Eric Blade, and is he the most iconic character in the world? Because I think that Blade is the #1 coolest character in cinema history, bar none.
That's cinema history. Definitely vampire history. Like, he's very unique. It's easy to get draped in vampires kind of all being one and the same. They all have, pretty much the same story. Either you were born as a vampire or you returned and you had, years and years to walk amongst us humans, and you feed on blood and to the sunlight and maybe a mirror, and you need this invitation. Like, pretty stereotypical beats that you hit because people always feed off of the Transylvanian area, and we just kind of subvert that sometimes. But it's always kind of the same template. He's all, unique on his own. First of all, we can walk out in the daytime. Let's start there. We can walk out in the daytime. That makes him unique, all his own. Like, this armor, everything here. I do like his child, the series and shows and stuff. Blade series that shall not be named. They do
don't acknowledge that.
But they do try to venture more into his history, and you get to see when he was found by Whistler and kind of their back and forth situation there, and their upbringing, and getting into why, him being that father figure, and why that scene at the end, when we thought we lost Whistler because he ain't go nowhere, why it hits so hard. Like, we do go into depths there, but I think he's an extremely unique vampire, and I don't know why when it comes to vampires, we try to stick to the same lore and the same rules. He don't have none of the rules. We went on no invitation. We can still see his imagery in a mirror. Like, it's none of that here. So I think that makes him cool, and we should do some more of this.
Yeah, and I'm like, the whole character of Blade, like his attitude, even when he, in that scene that I got the screenshot from, when he kills the vampire, he like shoots things like, yeah. Like, what other character vampire is doing stuff like that?
Child just smiling with his little boomerang. Like, yep, it's gonna come back.
Like, I just feel like, what other character is like Eric Blade? Like, no other character. Kay, who is Eric Blade? And isn't he the most iconic? Like, what is it with this character that just makes him special brought on the screen?
Eric Brooks.
Now, hold on, baby. Who is Eric Brooks?
That's his name. His last name ain't no Blade.
His name ain't Blade.
No. His name.
Where the hell Blade come from?
Like the nickname,
Blade was
but his
the
name is Eric
nickname.
Brooks.
Yes, Blade was
Eric
the nickname that was given to him by his mentor.
Yeah,
And
I guess
Blade
this is why Kay won't let me in the blurred group.
that's exactly why. Membership denied once again.
well, yeah, because we met him via the film, but a lot of people who are diehard like comic book fans, they'll know all of the Eric Brooks and deep dark details that we don't know nothing about, y'all. This is a comic book based character, you know.
I don't like the name Eric Brooks. I like the name Eric Blade. That got a better ring to it.
His mama named him Eric Brooks.
Mama called him Clay. Name him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
But yes, but he was found on the street. But in the comic book, it was not Whistler. It was a character named Jamal Afari, who was pretty much the equivalent of Whistler, which actually got changed later on in the comics and stuff. But in the original 70s, Blade was he was actually raised in a brothel. And then this guy Jamal kind of found him and took him under his wing, and he is the one that gave him the nickname Blade, as he helped him make the sharp weapons, and that's where they got the name from.
Okay. Do you think we will ever see a character in the vampire subgenre as unique as Blade? Because I feel like we've never seen a character like Blade before or after.
No.
No, we don't need to. We don't. Some things it only need to be that one time.
I
And
want
the
to-
thing is that the good thing that made Blade was because he was originally a person who was creating a comic book. So they didn't come at him from the horror aspect. They wanted him to be this anti-hero type guy. So when you build somebody within the superhero genre, and then we mix him with this horror genre, you get somebody like this. And sometimes everything don't have to be recreated. It don't have to be. Y'all can come close, but we don't have to be recreated. Oh, and yes, that Jamal Afari was black in the comics.
It was a brother.
And I definitely don't think we should go the route, because y'all already know, if y'all been on this channel, I am completely against the Blade remake, and I love Mahershala Ali, but I feel like leave Blade alone. But I guess I just mean in the sense of a unique background and lore to the character that, like Tyra said, we pretty much get the same. I mean, even when I think about Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel being a vampire with a soul, like that was a unique spin for a vampire character, like giving a vampire a soul. So I guess I just mean in the sense that we haven't really gotten anything quite as unique as Blade. I love Blade. I love Blade. Tyra, did you know Eric's name wasn't Blade?
Yes, I did.
It's just you, Nikki. It's just you. It's just you.
Because I'm saying, like, who the hell is Brooke? Am I the only person that just does? And when I say I love Mahershala Ali down, I love him down. I don't know. No.
I want to see it. I want to see it because we're deprived. Okay, we don't get nothing.
I want to see him.
That's why I feel like create something new.
Even though it might be trash, I still want to see it because we don't get nothing. We don't get nothing. So I'm taking the crumbs, I'm taking the chump change, and I'm loving the fact that Mahershala is like, no, and if it ain't gonna be right, I'm like, a lot of people are, walking off. That it makes me think that things aren't right, and we maybe should leave it alone. But when and if ever it comes out, I'm watching it.
I mean, I ain't saying I ain't gonna watch it because I'm gonna show up for everything black. But I just feel like, why didn't we create something totally? If Mahershala want to be a vampire or a superhero, whatever, create a new character for him. I don't know. I guess I just feel very much loyal to Wesley. Like it's certain people that I feel like is the franchise. Like I feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger is synonymous with Terminator. Mm-hmm. Nev Campbell is synonymous with Scream, and I feel like Wesley Snipes
they just did it with Eric Draven and The Crow. He is The Crow, and y'all brought this little trash movie out, and with poor Bill Skarsgård, and wasn't nobody checking for that. Eric Draven is the only Billy. Yeah,
poor Billy. But of course, we have to get into that iconic blood rave scene. And the introduction of the Blade character. It's blood draped everywhere. But Blade is in that mug clean.
But on his jacket everywhere.
Please, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
And of course we have, and that's another reason that I love like rewatching stuff. I don't know if it's just me. I feel like no matter how many times I watch something, I can always kind of notice like new things and stuff with the movie. But of course we know for this blood rave scene, we have the female vampire that's taking this little polar white man to his death, and they're walking through like this meat packing place. Baby, why one of the little carts that get scrolled by was like people, and I've never noticed that.
There's people on it. And he's like, I still want some really bad, so I'm gonna go anyway. Stupid.
Like, is it really that easy to lure a man to his death? Because baby knew something was up, and when he started asking a little question, baby she just kissed him. She just kissed him, and that just shut him right up. But of course, he gets into the rave. We got this techno music going. Everybody's partying, but everybody's certainly not being very nice to baby. He getting pushed all around, and all of a sudden the sprinklers go off, and we have this blood rain that comes down. And that's when everyone morphs and we see that they are vampires. But I sure was like, did anybody else not lure humans? Because I know we went all finna just feast on this one man. And of course, he's crawling through and he comes across these dark boots. And we pan up and it's Blade.
So dramatic. Comes across these dark boots.
I feel like with the entire just scene, this blood raining down, this kid in here surrounded, the vampires just chomping at him, Blade fighting everybody. Like, it's so amazing. The music. Tyra, what makes this blood rave scene so iconic?
It's just Wesley. Wesley has charisma out his ass. Like, there was nothing. Wesley could have just stood there and it would have just been like, oh, damn. Like, he didn't have to do much at the time because he just looked like what the hell? This is a vampire? We've never seen anything like this and we ain't seen nothing since. The fact that it's just all of them, you can it says everything it needs to say about him without saying anything, because immediately when they spotted him, it's like, oh, hell, he's here. We know exactly who this is and we can't mess with him. And everybody's just kind of backing off. Like Kay said, everybody's standing around waiting to get their ass whooped, because run up and get done up. Run up and get done up. I can take all of y'all out. The fact that he's here and his other vampires and he's outnumbered. So you get to see, like, if everybody's a vampire, including yourself, even though everybody ain't got on leather jeans and leather boots, what makes you so special and so different that everybody here would be in fear of you? It's just like, okay, yeah. And then like the fact that he's a vampire with a sword, like he has a weapon. He has an arsenal of weapons on him. Like, you just never see that. Most vampires, like vampires stereotypically are just supposed to be alluring and sexy, and they pull you in with that and all, the passion and the facade of what this allure and this always attraction. It's not so much of just being cool, and actually fighting. Like, Wesley was doing some stunts. He was fighting. He was kicking ass. That's what makes it special. I don't remember any situations where either they were like very creepy and just very unattractive, or they were overly attractive and alluring because they were trying to entrance you and enchant you to get suck on your neck. I'm not trying to suck on your neck. I'm just here to whoop ass and save this random pedestrian. What? All right, let's go. And then you have a little baby in there. This is the first scene that starts off. Dude that gets burnt, gets the arm chopped off, he gets the worst of it in this film via Blade. He's just like, oh Lord, he just hates to see Blade coming, but it's just really, really funny. But I think that's what makes this iconic.
And I feel like I love the genre mashup. Like, I always talk about the action horror mashup that we do not get much of, and I feel like this movie did that perfectly. Even that sequence of a horde of these bloody vampires chomping at this kid, and that's why I had to put the shot of him just cowering in the corner, like baby was scared. And in this moment, it is pretty much like, how the hell is he going to get out of here? And then having Blade come in and do everything he does. But I also like the lure around Blade. When Blade comes in and you hear the whispers, is it him? It's the Daywalker. Like, them doing that whispering, like, it amps up the whole character of Blade. Like, vampires are the type of supernatural creature that you fear. So to see these vampires have something that they fear, oh my God, I just thought that was so cool. Kay, what makes the blood rave scene so iconic? Like, I mean, it goes down in history.
The fact when I did my live about horror movie openings, the fact that he comes in here, this black vampire busts in this rave, everybody's getting rained on by blood, and he ain't got not one drop on his jacket, and everybody is intimidated by him. Like when he show up, the party is over. Whatever y'all thought was about to go down, whatever y'all thought y'all was gonna do, not today, not on my watch.
I just feel like this scene, have we ever seen anything like this? I love how bloody this movie is. Like they were not afraid to really go there with the gore and the blood. I feel like that action horror mashup is just my number one favorite, and we just don't get a lot of that. I love blood. Just give me a lot of blood. Let the blood rain down. And of course, when we talk
Blade
about
was rated R. Gotta remember, put that in there.
as it should be. And I feel like Mahershala gonna come through with a PG-13 Blade. I don't know why, but that is exactly how I feel.
It is because they want to reach demographics. We didn't care about that in '98. This was
I was 12. They reached me.
Mashup, and it was going to be rated R, so we could be bloody. They can't do that with PG-13.
When I tell you, I will never understand that whole, we don't want to make it rated. You know how many goddamn rated R movies I saw when I was like, child, you gonna reach everybody. Like, no. You cannot have a PG-13 Blade. Absolutely. How many motherfuckers can we say in a PG-13 Blade?
1 to 2.
See, no.
You got one.
No.
Maybe one.
And of course, when we talk about Blade, he isn't the only iconic character here. We got to talk about Karen. What was she? A hematologist? I love when Deacon Frost kidnaps Karen, which is another one of my favorite scenes. And he's talking to her, and she's like, "What are you gonna do? Bite me?" And he's like, "Well, it's either that or a body bag." She's like, "Bite me then. Do it. I just cured myself." Like, who talking to a vampire like that? But Karen was beautiful, 90s fine, forever fine. She was smart. She had and baby was kind of just thrust into this world, and she just kind of took to it. She was like, "Okay, well, Blade, I'm finna go with you. Like, we here now." Tyra, what makes Karen such an iconic character?
She was a full realized person, which is weak because we shouldn't have to beg for that in the first place. But she wasn't just a damsel. And she wasn't just here to be a love interest or, somebody like, "Oh, you suck on next, you can suck on something else with your fine self." Like, clearly there was some chintz in there because it's Wesley. Wesley was looking good as Blade with his little hazel contacts in. He was serving. But
I mean,
Blade, it wasn't here for that. I'm gonna, throw you across there and snap your little shoulder back in the girl. You either keep up or I will leave you here. Like you use me as bait. Like, look here, girl. We got a job to do. I don't have time for this. I have a job. I'm trying to see something real quick. But she goes out of her way to not be a victim. Like, I'm not just gonna. If it's like most movies, you got bit and you're gonna turn, at 12 p.m. noon. It's just like, well, I've accepted my fate. I can't. And there's just, moping the whole film. It's like, no, I'm gonna figure something out. Let me put my job, my skills to work. And even her having her own side plot with the partner who's turned, and he's like, I don't know what the hell he turns into. I don't know what. Karen. I was like, oh my God. I don't know what, but that whole thing there, and just it not being a romantic thing, him stopping for her because I can't leave a black woman lying here. This is reminding me of my mother. It hit different. Like, we didn't need her to be serving it up. Like, she was here to be an asset, and we don't see that a whole lot. And she was smart. She was beautiful. Like, I just knew, like, oh, I can't wait to see what they do with Karen in the second one. It was like, alley-oop, nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was just such a missed opportunity to have them tag team and just see something different put to film, because she held her own. And in the end, when Blade needed a little gold juice, she was there. And this wouldn't get all sexy. She was like, "Bite me." She's like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh my God, I want to get bit." Is that what happened when you get bit by Blade? it felt very climax. I was like, is that a climax or what's happening? Oh, I was like, oh.
I always wondered what the director's vision was because that scene comes off so sexual.
It just felt very.
And then when Blade stands up and gives his roar and the camera pans to his little erection.
Y'all was watching that scene a little bit too hard.
First of all, I didn't rewatch it. I remember that.
It's very in your face. But I love what you said about her not being the love interest. I remember when I grew up a movie buff, and of course, when you watch movies and stuff, you always have your favorite actors, your favorite performances. I remember being in my early 20s and somebody asked me about favorite actors. I literally did not name one woman. They were all men. And I feel like I never really thought about it, but I'm like, every time I see a movie, especially the genres that I like, the men always have these cool, badass roles, and the women are always, like you said, like a love interest, alluring, sexy. That didn't appeal to me as a kid. I like the cool characters and stuff like that. And I think about the movie Triple X when Sam Jackson was like, it's always a girl. It's always a girl. No matter what, they're going to find time to put in a love connection into a movie. No matter what the stakes are, no matter the ticking clock on death, they going to find a way to make them characters want to fall in love and stare into each other's eyes. I love that we did not go there with Karen. It was so refreshing to have a woman in a movie and she has a role bigger than I'm just here to look good and be a love interest and be your sidekick. Like Karen came through as just an iconic character. And I feel like we don't talk about this character enough. Kay, what makes Karen so iconic? Would you be telling Deacon Frost, go ahead and bite me?
I tell Blade so I could go, oh.
We know you will, because see, you like that in the movie. They didn't have it. It wasn't enough love making in this movie for Tyra. But for me, y'all know I don't like a love story in my horror. I don't care about all that. If there's a villain present, if we are in a life or death situation, we ain't got time for that right now. I ain't got time. And right now we don't have time. Okay. Neither one of them had time in this movie. And I appreciate that they didn't have time. She was right. She was like, oh, you think you can leave me? Oh no, I'm coming right with you. And I remember when he said, you're useless. And she stuck by me.
I love when he said
that's the whole point of me staying with you, is because I am useless. I know I ain't gonna make it. I'm with you out of survival. I'm not with you because I'm trying to get some, or because I'm attracted to you, or because I'm the love interest, or because I'm a damn one. Like, look, my skill is intelligence. Yours is the strength. Let's survive in this thing together. We locked in now. We're locked in, and I like that about that. And she was like, she was educated. She was a doctor. That hair was just swinging left and
maybe hair was on point.
Cause stiff wear, stiff wear. I loved seeing her on screen to have because it's like we have to have this powerful, strong black male character on screen. It's like Hollywood is like, throw him a white woman real quick. And I'm glad they didn't do that.
Who beat the cat? I want to know who signed off on this, because it was the sister. It was a brother or a sister somewhere. Karen. The name, first of all, the name is Karen. Karen would most definitely been white. Karen was supposed to be white. I don't know if this was written or if they just this was a situation where, you know what, we get this film together, we trying to get the best actress for the role. No doubt, especially now, Karen would be white as hell.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't even be trying. But they would have put up the black girl in the movie somewhere else doing something irrelevant and getting on our nerves.
No, it would have just been his mama. That would have been the black character.
You said that was gonna be enough, the mom.
But I just absolutely love the just not a damsel in distress, like you said. And of course, we have to get into anytime you're going to give us an iconic lead, we got to have an adversary for him that is just as iconic. And of course, we have Stephen Dorff as Deacon Frost. We get into the blood god and becoming a day walker. Tyra, was Deacon Frost a great adversary for Blade? Was this a great mashup? I think Stephen Dorff is so iconic. I love him. I love the Deacon Frost character. And I love this whole side story of Deacon Frost kind of rebelling against the purebred vampires and saying it doesn't matter. Like, we're at the top of the food chain. They're just humans. They're just cattle. They're just our food. And being smart and going into those archives and getting into the blood god and wanting to become a daywalker like Blade.
Weakest part of the movie for me. I never liked Deacon
What?
Frost. No, I do not. I'm not a fan. I felt like he was a weak adversary. It just didn't match up well for me with the caliber of what Blade was representing. Like, Blade was tough as hell. Like, we needed somebody who could stand. Like, when they have that little standoff in the middle of the park, and he has the little girl, and he's like, it's just, and he says, your mascara's running. Like, it's just not it. No. It doesn't. I don't know if this vampire needed some age on him. Some height. Like, he looks like a boy band. Like, it gives me quintessential Frosted Tips, NSYNC, Backstreet Boy. It never done. Not to say that his acting is bad. He's the flunky. He's the side character standing next to the main dude who's supposed to be Blade's adversary. He's not the one who's supposed to be in Blade's face. I always thought it was weak as hell. And it's one of, my most disliked characters in the movie, along with Eric, I'm your mother. He over there with her. No, never liked him.
I am so flabbergasted. Right? Like, I can't even speak. Wow, Tyra. I did not. Wow. I don't even know what this. I was not ready for that. I was ready to keep on praising Deacon Frost. Wow, the weakest part of the movie.
Yeah, I don't believe him in this role at all. I'm sorry.
Wow, that is so interesting to me. I have always loved Deacon Frost. I thought he was a great. Wow, Tyra.
It was supposed to be somebody else. It was supposed to be somebody else of a different type of caliber and stature standing across from Blade. It was not supposed to be him. He just didn't match up well for me.
I can't even. I gotta just jump to K. I can't even think. I can't even talk. I don't even know. Like, I am so shocked. I'm so shocked.
No, go to
wow. But how do you feel about the whole plot of like this blood god and trying
I like that. I even really more so appreciated the purebred, the dad, the one he kills off and snatches the teeth out and the whole thing. I liked his character. I would have wanted to see him go on and flex. Like, he felt lived in. He felt like a worthy adversary, or it just felt there was a presence with him. I like that aspect of what Deacon represents and what he's trying to combat against. And even in the realm of vampires, there's a sense of, classism and superiority, and you're not this because you weren't, born in. I love all of that. I just didn't like him for this role.
Wow. Kay, what side are you on? Are you one of the people that think Deacon Frost is a great character here, like me, or are you with Tyra?
First, y'all forgot one important line from this scene. One of the best lines in the movie.
What?
And ain't nobody pointed out when he said, "Frost, you are nothing to me but another dead vampire." I was like, that's one of my favorite lines in the movie. That is classic. Like, he did all this talk, and he said after he gave him this whole speech about why you need to join up with us, and then Blade gives him that straight face, like, I don't care. You're nothing to me but another dead vampire. Like that. Like, that's what I think of you. But I like Frost. Is he who I go to with the most horrific vampire villain? No, I actually love the vampire villains that were in Blade too. But do I dislike him? I don't dislike him either. To me, he's just there.
Wow, that is so. And even the line you're talking about, Kay, when Blade says you're just another dead vampire, I love their mashup together. I love that when he's like, you idiot, I came out here offering you. Like, I love that whole showdown with him and Blade. I think it worked so well.
No, all the scenes, the dynamics, the lines, it's written well. It's just him. There's nothing wrong with the dialogue or anything that their experiences, the back and forth, the vendetta they have against each other, even that little camaraderie of him kind of admiring what he doesn't have. Like, you get to walk in the daylight, you're black, you're cool. Like, I'm a little bit. I'm a little envious of that. Like, I love that. I just don't like this actor for this role.
Wow. Well, let me know, y'all. If you watch it in the comments, are you pro Deacon Frost or are you anti Deacon Frost? Because I'm literally blown away. And of course, in breaking down Blade, we have to get into any movie that has the two main villain and hero. You know, it always leads to the final showdown. You always have to have that third act iconic showdown. And I thought, outside of that terrible CGI blood, this was a iconic final showdown for this movie. Everything led us here. We end up having the whole situation where Whistler is I still don't understand how Whistler wasn't dead. When he told Blade to walk away and we heard that shot, what the hell did Whistler do? Shoot at the wall? Because I thought that was him taking himself out. I still don't know how he wasn't dead. But hot off of that, even though Whistler tried to tell him don't go, you know, because Whistler knows the whole thing that Deacon Frost is trying to do and how he needs Blade's blood to bring back the whole blood god, and he gonna make a plague across the world, which, okay, Deacon Frost, like that didn't make no sense because you need your food, baby. But Blade ends up getting caught. This is when we know it was funny to me how his story kind of mirrors Ice-T's story in New Jack City, where Ice-T mom was shot in the head and he wanted to find the person that did that. Blade mama was killed by the vampire and he had to find the vampire that did it. So that was all very similar to me. But we come to find out this is where it is like a surprise to the audience and to Blade that your mama ain't died, baby. Your mama is a vampire. Your mother, Eric, I'm your mother. And of course, Eric gets got. They suck his blood out. But of course, we got Karen, who is never a damsel in distress. Baby, Karen was not waiting for nobody to save her. Karen saved herself. She fought her little zombie vampire ex-lover co-worker, climbed her ass out with a bone, and she went to rescue Blade and get him up out that little thing. And that's when we get the ever erotic bite me scene with her and Blade. And he comes back, he fights off all the vampires. As Kay said, they were standing in line one by one, waiting to get beat down. And we have the final showdown with Deacon Frost with the blood god power inside of him. And I thought this was first of all, I thought it was a great villain. I thought we had a great build up to their final showdown. And I think this was a final showdown that gave us a great payoff. The fight was great. We got a sword fight. I personally love a sword fight in a movie. Tyra, is this the final showdown that you feel left a satisfying end to the whole adversary storyline in here with Blade and Deacon Frost?
Oh, hell yeah. This is a scene I'll just randomly, you're not doing it like, I want like final showdown, Blade 1998. Just go watch it just for nothing. This is a scene that I will randomly look up and just go watch for no reason at all. And it still hits. It's just so good. Not even just that main like sword fight, because that's the bomb too, especially when he throws his, like, he yells like, I'm gonna slice you up, and then he looks like, what the hell, like, when did you get all regenerated? When was just all this coagulation with the blood? Like, oh, the situation is happening. You're like, you're a blood god. It's gonna take a little bit more for me to take you down, but I can still do that. Like that, the whole thing with the serum. Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice get up here. Like, are you a girl? What? What? That, even the lead up to him flipping all the way down, like Kay said, catching them shades, and him just the ass kicking, the stunt work for those fights, it's just immaculate. It still looks really, really good. I miss stuff like that. We don't get really great grand like fights like this. That's just like a continuation. There's so many jump cuts to where it's just like you see a whole bunch of this, but you can't even see what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
Because it's so much, stunts and shows being pulled that the director wants to deter your attention to. What's like, no, Wesley was actually committed and fighting and doing his own stunts. So he wanted y'all to know, I'm working. I'm working. And he wanted you to see everything. And we saw it, and it looks so freaking good. So when he gets up there and whoops that Backstreet Boy, it's perfect. It's just absolutely perfect, and I love it. Like, go if y'all haven't watched Blade, just go look up this scene after this live, and it's just so freaking entertaining.
If you haven't watched Blade, you need to go to the hot place. What have you been doing with your life? Like, I'm talking to you, Sam. But shout out to these 70 people in here with us. And if you have any doubts, because I skipped this the last KillerCon because I thought y'all knew what was up, because we here every Saturday and y'all already know what it is. But just a reminder, okay, it is support or die.
Take your best shot.
And of course, we have our viewer's choice segment at the very end of the episode.
What's your pleasure?
What's your pleasure, Mr. Cotton? What's your pleasure, Mr. Cotton?
What's your pleasure?
Sanaa had 4 lines. Tyra, you such a hater.
No Sanaa slander will be taught. Girl, you had 4 lines. Like, and it's crazy because, like I said, this was like her first pop out outside of like some sitcom, like Family Matters type stuff. But her and Wesley linked up again for Disappearing Acts, 2000? And it was better. It was she just needed some time to marinate. She needed to run a couple of them lines again, but maybe it was a budget and they didn't have time for that. Don't be rolling up in here and getting your 4 lines wrong.
Tyra, how did you feel about the scene when his mother comes in and he's like, I have to release you, and she does that scream? Like,
it was fine. She was dead. She was dead at that point. I was just happy that we wouldn't be getting any more lines. Like, this is like my least favorite Sanaa role. Like, Lord.
Really?
She just takes me out of the movie. And I'm like, what the hell? I didn't know until I started the channel. And I was like, I'm going to review Blade. And I was like, what the hell is this? You don't pay attention to acting or lack thereof until you're older. And then I was like, she could act. I didn't remember Sanaa not being able to act. I didn't remember this. I love her. But when you can't act, Nabooshe Wright could act. Sanaa could act. She's gorgeous. She's always been that. She's a beautiful woman. And sometimes we can be beautiful and we can act. And sometimes we can just be beautiful and we can't act.
Yeah, when I went to revisit Blade, I was like, God, yeah. So now I know why Sanaa was beautiful in this movie. God, even when she was dying and sweaty at the beginning, she was beautiful. But I don't know. I feel like there is just a presence and a screen presence and a likability to Sanaa that works for me. Like, the person that we be comparing her to, we had this conversation. I think we had it backstage, not on the live, was Gabrielle Union versus Sanaa Lathan. Neither one of them can act, if you ask me. But I find Gabrielle Union to be extremely unlikable. She ruins Bad Boys 2 for me. Like, she literally ruins that movie for me. I cannot stand her in that movie. But Sanaa, for me, has a likability quality that makes her easier for me to stomach. She doesn't bother me in Blade. I completely agree with your critiques. Baby cannot act in Blade, and this is her worst performance. She did get better, but there's a likability to Sanaa Lathan that works for me where I can stomach her. If they would have had Gabrielle Union play Blade, mama, I wouldn't be here talking about the movie today. Like it likely would have ruined the whole movie for me. I would have had to check out.
She would have gave the same, Eric, I'm your mother. She would have said, Eric, come here, baby, come here. I'm your mother. Yeah, she when he releases her, it's old happy day. Release her ass, please.
Now, Kay, we know you love the iconic scene when Blade takes out the guy who he done chopped his whole body up the whole movie, and he bursts into ash and them shades fly. Blade catches them shades, puts them on the music cuts in. But how did you feel about this whole final showdown? I mean, even him, I even love the whole sequence of this third act when he's taking out the other vampires and he keep yelling Frost, like that. Taking me out. It's so good. How did you feel about this final showdown, Kay?
Amazing. This is it. Like this, it doesn't get any more actiony, gory, bloody. We got martial arts in there, and we got some cheesiness in there. I need all that. And then he topped it all off with that iconic line that I have yet to have somebody put on a t-shirt for me, but I need y'all to know it's still true that some motherfuckers still trying to ice skate uphill. Y'all need to know this.
All that line on the t-shirt. Y'all stay trying to do that shit. It pisses me off every time.
Look, the IRS should have let Wesley skate just for this role alone. Like, this is just so amazing.
You know what? Now how did his bank account get in this?
Because if Wesley would have walked into my IRS office, I'd have said, "Sir, you good?
You Blade, brother, black man, my black brother. This is Blade. Write it off. Do whatever you got to do. Make it disappear. Like y'all make other stuff disappear for other folks.
Exactly." But I just feel like, is Wesley Snipes as iconic to the world as he is to our community? I feel like Wesley. I can't remember if it was Kay or Tyra that was like naming his movies earlier. Like he really had such an iconic run. Like he is everything to me. Like his performances are so, and he had multiple iconic roles. I mean, Nino Brown, Blade, like so many iconic roles that I personally feel no one else. He was able to do the type of performances where I'm like, nobody else can be Nino Brown. Nobody else can be Blade.
The way I just watched Simon Phoenix in Demolition Man, like entertaining. I love Wesley. It's entertaining.
And as much as I love Sylvester Stallone, I make Sylvester Stallone stand my whole life. I think Wesley is the shining star in Demolition Man.
Absolutely.
Does
he get the recognition he deserves, Kay? Like Wesley is an icon.
I think so. Because I mean, he is one of those people. I mean, you can't miss him. Do he look like you can? He used to like to wear a whole lot of white in the 90s. You can't miss this Negro walking around as dark as he is, dressed in all white. You couldn't miss him. Okay, I feel like his celebrity has definitely crossed over. So I feel like he gets the recognition that he needs, and I feel like it was even revived in the new Deadpool Wolverine movie. Spoiler alert, if y'all haven't seen it, that's y'all's fault. But
Ryan Reynolds spoiled it. I ain't never even seen the movie, but I saw Ryan Reynolds posting about it. Like, baby, how you spoiling your own damn movie?
But I feel like people had got even another. It was for millennials that warmed our little millennial hearts. So I definitely feel like the love that came through every review that I watched, that I looked up. Everybody's favorite part of a movie with two superstars, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. But everybody's like, our favorite part was Wesley Snipes coming out as Blade. So yeah. I definitely feel like he gets the love.
Okay, good. Because y'all know I'm not into the comic book where I just saw my first damn DC movie last year with Black Adam. That is not my world. So I wasn't even going to see Deadpool. I had no...
So wait, you mean tell me you ain't never seen the Dark Knight trilogy?
I saw the one with the Joker. That's the only one I saw.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I saw that one. Mm-hmm. But Daryl, what the hell are you talking about? Who are we worshiping? Like, I don't even know what you're talking about, kid. Like, fill me in, because I don't even go to church, so I don't know what you're talking about worshiping somebody. I don't know where that came from. But we are a channel that talk about movies and actors. So of course I'm going to show the actor love. So I don't know why that equals worship.
Some love. I like what Kay said, but it said a whole lot that Ryan Reynolds had to do bidding just for Wesley. Like they should have wanted him there regardless. Ryan Reynolds made that happen. No studios reached out to pay respect to Wesley. Like that's not love for me. I don't think he gets love or like accolades like that because the majority of his movies that we are, beloved, they're more in the spirit of like Black movies. Even though he has his martial arts and action situations like a Passenger 57. His most notable, like a Jungle Fever or a Nino Brown or a White Man Can't Jump. Even Hell Money Train. It's like, oh, those are Black films and that's a Black actor, so we don't hold him to the standards. There's no way in hell it should have taken Ryan Reynolds to beg and get them studios to have him there in that film. Crazy.
And see, I didn't even know that. And see, that's what I mean. I just feel like when it comes to the world of like actors, not even like celebrity, I just mean like, how like you just said, like certain studios have who they consider to be like bankable actors. I just feel like Wesley has kind of turned into like a B-level actor that I'm like, this is a A-list freaking talent. This is a A-list actor. And I was kind of like
after Deadpool, Wolverine, I saw the love is there for your boy.
Well, that's good. At least the community, like the fans,
the audience, the fans, we love it. But like as far as like his placement in Hollywood, it's not there.
Wow, and that's so sad to me. Like, what else does he have to do or give? And Kay, it's nothing I love more than a dark-skinned man in white. Like, give me a dark chocolate angel. Because Wesley was wearing that white. And even I love Wesley in The Fugitive. That wasn't a Black movie. Wesley did that. Okay, he did that with Tommy Lee Jones.
Fugitive. Oh, that Fugitive knockoff. It's the U.S. Marshal one.
Yeah, U.S. with the sequel. The sequel. If Tommy Lee Jones there, it ain't a knockoff.
I don't care.
I didn't kill my wife.
I don't care.
It's never gonna be the original, but I love U.S. Marshal. I think that is a really but Wesley always had to have a white woman in the movie. He had one.
Oh, hey, now Wesley love him ancient Chinese secret. He love him. Yeah, that's that over there.
I just feel like and like I said, I'm not into the comic book stuff, but I remember when Iron Man and Avengers was coming out, and everybody was going up for Iron Man and Robert Downey Jr. and how it was this whole resurgence for Marvel. And I'm like, well, wait, didn't Wesley already do that? Like, so that's what I mean. Like, does he get like the recognition and the credit and all of that stuff? But of course, with him now being in Deadpool, which now I want to see, that's a spoiler that made me want to see the movie because I wasn't going to see it. But if Wesley there's Blade, I'm showing up. Do we want to see Wesley Snipes come back with Blade 4 and give us the sequel? I really want like a legacy. I want Karen back. Like, I want us to really do it right. Do we want to see Wesley Snipes come back as Blade, Kay?
I was satisfied with Deadpool and Wolverine. Like that was more than I could ask for because I never expected to see that Blade ever again. And so to put that Blade over into the MCU, like that's enough. Y'all ain't, you know what? Wesley don't owe us nothing else. He don't owe us nothing else after that.
You know what? I have heard this, TP. Wesley is a method actor. Studios say he was hard to work with. I heard some crazy stories about how he was in character for Blade on and off camera. Like he was a menace. They said he stayed in character as Blade.
They don't do that. I could have said they don't do that with the other, like your Gary Oldmans, your
Evan Peters was Dahmer the whole time.
Those people of the world that are method. They don't say that about them. They say, oh, they were just so dedicated. It was terrible. I can't believe they did that, but the movie was great. I can't wait. Like they don't put that stigma on other people who do the same things. Wesley said I'm Blade.
Yes, Evan Peters didn't talk to Niecy Nash until after Dahmer. He said he did not want to talk to her because he wanted to stay in his role as Dahmer. And in the series, they don't get along. She's trying to report him or whatever. So he said he didn't want to form no kind of relationship with her so that the chemistry on set would be tense as it was. And we felt that on screen. So he said, like, afterwards, when they wrapped the show, he was able to go and have a conversation with her and thank her for being there and supportive. But he said no. Evan Peters was Jeffrey Dahmer and stayed in character. So y'all mean to tell me y'all can't handle Blade on the movie
But
set?
I mean,
Wesley, you don't
isn't
owe
that
us nothing
what-
else. You don't owe us nothing
That's
else.
what talented actors like Russell Crowe, like he is a freaking menace. Like, I mean, that's what the actor, they be method acting and all that
Girl,
stuff.
Jack Nicholson is awful. Like, yo, what are we talking about here?
Tyra, do you want to see Wesley Snipes come back as Blade?
No. Wesley is, I don't know, but Wesley is anywhere between 60 and 65 years old. Like, if they were going to do it, they should have did it a long time ago. We spent so much time, trying to disassociate him with Blade and the whole thing. Like, I wasn't mad at him for being disgruntled about the process of that third Blade movie. Like, it's terrible. It's awful. And he knew it was. So he was upset, like, as passionate as I was and everything that it took to just get this character off the ground to be something. We come here and we ruin it. I'm unhappy about it. And hell, I don't want to be here. So he had an attitude. I wasn't mad. I can't stand Blade Trinity. It's a terrible movie. Like, I don't mind him making an appearance in the film as like the right way, because they be throwing legacy characters anywhere and just doing anything with them. I wouldn't mind that, but him just coming back as like a full-blown Blade movie, I think the time has passed.
Yeah, he don't owe us that no more. I'm satisfied with Deadpool and Wolverine. That was more than I needed, and I'm good.
Well, I guess I just missed the boat because I really wanted to see Karen come back. I really would, and like you said, and I'm the type of person. Blade 3 is. I can't fucking stand Ryan Reynolds and Blade. Oh my god, I hate him. But I can have fun with Blade 3. I have rewatched it. I can enjoy it, but I'm like, I that movie. I hate that is where this could have been one of the most iconic trilogies ever, and I hate. That's why I'm like, I want Karen to come back. I want another Blade because I hate that we ended with Blade 3. But Blade 1 and 2 is iconic. Like Guillermo del Toro came in for that sequel. Nomak was amazing. The Blood Pack. So we got the sequel, but I'm just like, God, I hate. But I guess y'all, I guess the ship has sailed. I'm just like, what are some iconic character introductions in film? I feel like, of course, we know that Blade has that iconic Blade character introduction, which child, look, fight me. That's the number one best character introduction of all time. Like, I don't care. But, Kay, what are some iconic character introductions in film? Of course, we know we have the iconic, like, Willy Wonka introduction that Gene Wilder did. Like, what are some iconic character introductions in film?
Does the genre matter?
No, genre does not matter. Just in film in general.
I like to have. Okay, y'all could be mad at me when I be saying stuff like that. Okay, I like how they introduced the characters in Black Panther. I liked how they I even though we had seen T'Challa in Captain America Civil War, but at the time a lot of us did not watch Captain America Civil War.
I've never seen that movie.
See, and so the first time we met T'Challa was in Black Panther. So I love seeing him there. I actually love how they introduced the Killmonger in there. I like how they introduced see, all these character introductions are gonna come from superhero movies for me. I liked how they introduced the Joker and the Dark Knight. I like how they introduced Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. I love character superheroes know how to introduce some character. They know how to pull you on the screen and pull you in. So, but my character introductions, most of them come from superhero movies.
And you know what? That was a great introduction of the Joker. That first opening sequence of The Dark Knight is iconic, and Joker's introduction is iconic. I would also say I know this is like an underrated movie that Quentin Tarantino did. Whenever people talk about his best movies, they never mention Jackie Brown, but that is one of my favorite Quentin Tarantino movies. And I think Pam Grier's introduction in that movie is iconic. The music, the vibe, everything works. Hannibal Lecter's introduction in The Silence of the Lambs, I think, is iconic. Of course, Wesley on my brain. Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Terminator is an iconic character introduction. And an underrated action movie that I never hear people talk about is The Replacement Killers. That movie is amazing. And Chow Yun-Fat's introduction in that movie is so good. But I think the only character introduction that rivals Blade for me is Leon the Professional. When we get that opening sequence of the job being given to the assassin, but we don't see the assassin, we just see the person given the job, and then the whole job goes down, and the freaking mob boss is calling the police for help, and Leon pops up. That
leaves in. Hang up the phone.
Like, that is so iconic to me. That's the only, because I feel like Blade is the #1 greatest character introduction. I don't care, fight your mama. But the Leon the Professional is second. Like, and I feel like it's because of adding like this lore to the character. This like, ooh, that's what they did with Blade. When you got the day vampire, it's like, it's the Daywalker, is it him? And that's what we did with Leon and Leon the Professional. Tyra, what are some of the best character introductions in film?
Girl, the way I love Leon. I love me some Leon. That's my movie. Hang up the phone. I love Leon. I love Patrick Bateman in American Psycho. He's just telling us his, everyday routine, but just in that little amount of time, like, okay, he's crazy. Something's off. The whole, I'm simply not there. I love that intro. Hans and Inglourious Bastards, and that family being underneath the floorboards and that tension. Great character. He was like, oh, he's a menace. He came to ravage and kill, and he's happy about it. Hans and Inglourious Bastards is absolutely perfection to me. I love it. Trinity and The Matrix. I look, because I think somebody said Morpheus in the chat. Trinity in The Matrix, and that whole intro with the cops and the phone call and her, like, that was
100%.
Very, very, very iconic at the time. Let's see.
I can always count on Tyra to come through with a bomb ass list. Girl, I wasn't even. Yes, Trinity, Han. Oh my God, I never thought I could like a Nazi so much.
Yeah.
Like,
even though he is like trash now, Kevin Spacey is Jane Doe in Seven. I really like John Doe. I love that, like, because you don't know, especially if you're just seeing it for the first time, you don't know who the killer is. You're just seeing all these calling cards, and they're no close to finding this killer, and he shows up like over an hour into the film, just drenched in blood. Like, you're looking for me. It's like, what the hell is Kevin Spacey? This is what it is. So I think that's one of my favorites too.
Wow, yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one. But Blade #1 out of all those y'all just named. Is anybody over Blade introduction? And of course we have the iconic Whistler in Blade. I am obsessed with Whistler. I think now hold on, let me do a temperature check, because I thought we all liked Stephen Dorff. Tyra, do we like Whistler?
I love Whistler. I hate what they did with his character. It was very significant when he died in the first one, but I love him. I love him.
Yeah, I do hate what they did. Tyra, who are some iconic sidekick characters?
You, Chow, Tiffany in The Bride of Chucky. I love Tiffany. I love Tiffany. Tiffany was like refreshing and a really great addition to Chucky. I feel like Tiffany is very, very iconic, and I love her. I would marry you if you had the body of G.I. Joe. I love Tiffany. Ed and Shaun of the Dead, even though Ed is terrible, problematic little lazy bum, but Ed is just really, really funny and essential to that film. And even with, him turning and what they do with him, I absolutely love Ed there. Let's see. Anybody who was like an amalgamation or like a ghoul, like Jack in American Werewolf in London, him just being there and reappearing and looking worse and worse and worse every single time he comes back. He's not a ghoul, but he kind of gives that in the realm of a vampire. I love the essence of vampire movies and us getting the ghouls and us having like Julian from Vampire in Brooklyn, or You're So Cool, Brewster, him from Fight Night, like just those little side characters, or just like anybody who's like a Renfield adjacent type of character. Those people are iconic and really, really cool to me, because they're there to service absolutely and be devoted to the vampire.
Yes, and I think a iconic sidekick character that never gets justice is Jonesy in Alien.
I was gonna say, if you
Jonesy
say
and Alien need to get some respect put on their name. That cat is an iconic sidekick. Put some respect on Jonesy.
You said iconic sidekicks. Cats, we doing animals now?
That's a sidekick. But put some respect on those.
I didn't want to say Stu because I feel like Stu is pretty obvious in Scream, but I thought you was going to say Stu.
Oh, that's a good one, Critical Thinker. The introduction of Naomi Rapace, or however you pronounce her name. I'm sorry, lady. And Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Kay, who are some iconic sidekick characters? Are they gonna all be from the comic? I need to get into the comic book because I did try. I was watching the Marvel movies all out of order. I got through a few of them. Oh, but I did recently watch all of the X-Men movies, and they were way better than I thought. Them X-Men movies are good as hell. Kay, who are some iconic sidekick characters?
Depending on who you're talking to, because some people hate them X-Men movies.
Really? I thought there was even like the early 2000 and the whole, I think it's like a trilogy that came out in 2000. Them movies is good. And then the younger generation that came out, they were so good. Now I did stop because I got burnt out. I didn't make it to like the Phoenix movie. And then I think it's like the New Mutants. I haven't made it to those, but I saw like
don't watch that. Don't play with yourself like that.
Yeah, do that. And don't be forgetting my honorable mention. Doc and Back to the Future, if we just name it any genre. I love Doc. Doc is iconic to me. I love Doc. Okay.
I've never seen Back to the Future. Who you got, Kay?
Okay.
That's not my ministry. That's not my genre.
Well, you ain't seen Back to the Future.
Never had any desire to.
Like, obvious people like Doc and like Batman and Robin. Like Robin is, tag team, but like Doc is everything. I need you to watch that, please.
Nightcrawler, Trent King. Nightcrawler did have a great character introduction in the X-Men. I think it was the X-Men 3. But no, baby, he does not beat Eric Blade. No, get out of here. Who you got, Kay?
So y'all gonna make me forget my list. Y'all know stuff be in my mind. So y'all just gonna act like Gizmo ain't do his job in the Gremlins. Okay. Gizmo played a good sidekick. He was just so cute. Okay. It was so cute. Kadeem Hardison and Vampire in Brooklyn. I don't care what y'all say, that was the sidekick because he came up at the end of the movie. Did he not do his job and take his rightful place? And the crew, the gang in the Lost Boys.
Oh,
which one? The Frog Brothers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're open there when they open their eyes. Like what?
Now, who is the most iconic sidekick character here? We have Whistler from Blade. We have Sam from I Am Legend. And yes, Tyra, the cats and the dogs count as the sidekick. You can tell me Sam wasn't the sidekick to Will Smith in I Am Legend.
He was. He cried when she died. He was.
We got the Frog Brothers here that Kay just named. And we have, what is his name in, what is his name? My mind blanking, but y'all see him on the screen. Rail, thank you. We got him. Top flight security. Who is the most iconic sidekick here, Kay?
Iconic?
Yes. I'm sorry, but on here.
I mean, when you use iconic, I mean that's a strong word. I definitely, I want to say Whistler was that guy. I mean, if we don't count animals, there's a whole lot of do you want to throw Toto up there?
No, it's the 4 options on the screen, Kay. And yes, iconic is a strong word, but you can't tell me Buddy and Get Out is not an iconic side character. You can't tell me Whistler is not an iconic side character. I don't really care about the Frog Brothers, but I threw them on here because they are generally loved. But come on now, Sam is iconic. Who you got, Kay?
Oh, I'm gonna definitely throw a little Rail in here because I mean he's the black man saved his homeboy. There was no white savior in this movie, and that's TSMFA. Come on.
Oh, that was where I get top flight security from. What is that from?
Friday afternoon.
Friday.
Oh, Friday. I knew it was something like that. I see his
because he knew the whole time. He was the one that was pretty much like representative of us. Like, this situation don't look good. It looks suspicious. Don't take your behind over there. And I know if you take your behind over there, something gonna happen. And if I tell people something gonna happen to you at these white folks' house, nobody's gonna believe me. His friend didn't believe him. He didn't have to go save him because we were just like, you did it to yourself. That was a good friend that went, and he took care of his dog while he was over there. That's a good friend right there.
Oh yeah, he did. Tyra, out of these 4 characters, who is the most iconic sidekick?
I ain't picking that dog.
What? Where's Bane? I'm finna tell Bane you be talking all kinds of
not in here today. He's not in here. No, like I'm just that's not sticking on me like that. Like
Tyra, you didn't cry when Sam died in I Am Legend.
No.
You have no heart. Tyra got a cold dead. You know what? What did Karen say in Blade? My mama said a cold heart is a dead heart.
What is that? I cried on Molly and Me when they lost that dog. I cried.
Okay, good. So why you weren't crying for Sam?
Because I don't know. I didn't care. I'm gonna go with Whistler.
I'm gonna go out on people. Where is Peter? Go take Bane.
My dog is loved. I'm gonna go with Whistler. I don't like pets in horror movies, like, because that means some idiot is going to be going off trying to save the pet, like, especially if you're not useful. At least Sam was a little useful. Like, I don't do pets in movies.
And Sam was very useful. Sam did right.
Yeah, she did. I'm gonna go with Wesley. Thank you.
I feel like the obvious choice is Whistler, but since nobody want to show love to Sam, I'm gonna pick Sam. Okay, Sam was a ride or die. Okay.
Yeah, she died. She died too.
Because of Will Smith, okay? Because he wanted to play around with them vents.
Stupid face. Yeah.
And of course, I always love to give y'all some underrated gems, some movies that you don't hear a lot of people talking about. The underrated portion, like segment of Killer Con, is always my favorite because I love finding new movies to watch. Y'all let me know in the comments, what is your favorite segment on Killer Con? Because mine is the underrated vampire, not underrated vampire shock. We don't always talk about vampires. The underrated movie portion of whatever we happen to be covering, that is always my favorite. But we are going to get into some underrated vampire movies because after talking Blade, you might be in the mood for some vamps and some good ones. Now, my first underrated vampire movie may come as a shock. Because anybody that has been on my channel know it is nothing I hate more than comedy and horror. I'm not a comedy fan. I don't like comedy, musicals, or romance. Those genres can just get thrown away. But The Night Watchman is a comedy horror about vampires. When I tell you that movie is hilarious, the best way to sum up The Night Watchman, imagine the dumbest people you know have to fight vampires. That's the movie. Like, it is so hilarious. It's funny. And it's like the stupid kind of humor, which usually doesn't work for me. The only thing I don't like in the movie is whenever the vampires die, they pass gas. Like, I'm not one for like toilet humor. Yeah, that's the only aspect of the movie that doesn't work for me. But trust me, The Night Watchman is a gem. It is so good. It's this black guy in the movie. He's hilarious. The whole crew is hilarious. So, but to give you a taste, so I need y'all to watch this movie. There's a scene where we capture one of the vampires and we're trying to figure out how to kill them right. And one character breaks the broomstick to try and stake him in the heart, and he won't die. He keeps stabbing him. And the girl is like, she snatches it and she's like, you're trying to kill him with a plastic stake. Like, it's a plastic broom handle, not wood. Like, the movie is so good. They shoot the vampire in the head. That doesn't kill him. So blood starts squirting everywhere. So the black guy puts his finger in the hole to stop the blood, and his finger gets stuck. Like, the movie is so stupid, but it is so fun. It is hilarious. And as somebody who is not a comedy fan, trust me, it is so good. And I would also say, now I haven't seen this one in ages, and I'm also not a Stephen King fan, but does anybody remember that Stephen King, I don't know, I can't remember if it was one of the miniseries or a movie, but The Night Flyer with the vampires, that one is a gem. And also one that I don't hear a lot of people talk about is priests from like the mid 2000s, where we had to like we got these priests from the church to go fight vampires. It's like a B movie, mediocre, generic kind of movie, but it's actually really good. Tyra, do you have any underrated vampire movies?
Oh yeah, I'm always gonna say Near Dark. I'm gonna mention Near Dark in every conversation possible. It
Is that the one with Bill Paxton?
Yes, it's an old school kind of vampire like / Western type situation. Go and check that out. There are like a plethora of really cool black and white old school horror movies, and not like in a sense of being black and white because it's from that decade. Like no, they're more so current. It's a couple from the 90s. I think the other one's from the 80s, and then there's one like from like the mid 2000s. It's called A Girl Walks Home Alone. Go watch that. Go watch that. You seen it?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Did you see it though?
I saw it for like 10 minutes and I cut it off.
You cut it off. I knew you were gonna cut it off. It's worth watching. It's such a different type of vampire narrative. And I think if you are willing to go along for the slow burn, it's something you could appreciate. Chronos from the 80s is very underrated. I rarely hear anybody ever talk about that one. There's a movie from the 70s. It's called The Blood Splattered Bride. Ooh. It's from the 70s, so it's but it's different, and I appreciate it for what it is. I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it. And it's also The Hunger with David Bowie and like Sigourney Weaver. If I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen it in a while. But The Hunger is a very unique 80s take on vampirism and just the narrative and what direction that movie goes. It's not the best, but it's just very, very different, and I can appreciate it. And David Bowie's there. Like, who doesn't love David Bowie? And I guess the last one would be I think it's called The Only Lovers Left Alive. It's very different. It's very, very different, and I think it adds a different perspective to vampires. It reminded me a whole lot of Interview with the Vampire in a way. It's just something to really watch and really get into the dynamics of not just so much the bloodlust of vampires, but what it means to spend eternity with somebody. Okay. Yeah,
what is her name? Tilda Swinton. She's in that. And I know what you're talking about, but it's romance, so I didn't watch it. But the Blood Splattered Bride is on Tubi. That might be my watch tonight. I'll pass. I don't want to see vampires passing gas. Listen, Swim fan, trust me, I hate toilet humor more than anyone. When I tell you that is literally my only issue with that movie. The movie is it's hilarious. It's so good. It's bloody. It's gory. It's amazing. Look.
I'll watch it because I can appreciate movies like Vampire's Kiss or Once Bitten. I'll watch it once and see, because I like Once Bitten. That's my movie. I love it.
Like it's not a parody, but on the comedic level, it feels like Scary Movie if the Wayans brothers would have tackled the vampire genre. Like, it is so freaking funny. It's amazing. Trust me. I had recommended the Skarsgård movie Hidden from 2015 to y'all. And I had somebody comment that I was right. They loved it. Look, trust me when I give you a recommendation. Okay, watch The Night Watchman. I think that's on Tubi as well, if I'm not mistaken. Kay, do you have any underrated vampire movies? Now your man movie ain't out yet. He only got a trailer, so you can't count that one. Okay, Michael B. Jordan ain't got the vampire movie out yet.
There's a series that I really liked that came out in 2022 on Showtime. You could still find it somewhere. They did a series from the movie Let the Right One In, but it stars Anika Noni Rose.
I know what you're talking
about. That was good, and it ended on a cliffhanger and didn't get renewed because y'all wasn't watching it. Y'all claim y'all want diversity in y'all stuff, but y'all know y'all don't. That was a really, really good series, and it was the little vampire was like this Hispanic family. The little girl was bitten. The father, she had she had accidentally taken out the mom, and so the dad was trying to raise her and be the one to bring her the people to feed off of. And they lived in the apartment building next to the Anika Noni Rose character, who is a cop, and she has the son who, of course, befriends the little girl. By the way, but it was a really well written series. It was really well acted. And speaking of children and vampires, Vampires versus the Bronx was really good to me. I don't feel like enough people talked about it. To me, it was like a black Lost Boys. So if you like the Lost Boys, watch this movie. And they, shout out Blade in the movie. Like big ups to Blade in that. There's also a movie called Black as Night that came out probably 2021, 2022. That was a diverse cast movie, the Blumhouse movie that came on Prime. So those would be my because I don't feel like I hear anything about those movies. I don't feel like I heard anybody talking about them.
Yeah, I talked about Let the Right One In TV show on my channel. I think it came out last year. I feel like it was so much they could have did with that. And I agree, like when you talk about we always talk about diversity. We had Black Lee, her black son with a Nikki 90 Rose. We had the Hispanic guy who I don't know his name, but we know you if you watch
we
stuff,
know exactly. We know him from somewhere.
Yeah. But if we're adding TV shows, they let me down with the season finale, but The Strain used to be my ish. The Strain was so good.
That season opening, the pilot episode of The Strain actually kind of scared me a little bit. That pilot episode of The Strain, that's gonna get you in episode 1. I loved it.
Yeah, The Strain was my ish. I was hooked. But I also want to get into just some great vampire story ideas. Like vampires is one of my favorite like supernatural like creatures. I love vampire stories. I think my favorite like idea that has been done with vampires is it's the movie, what is it called? It's Daybreakers, I think it's called, with Ethan Hawke and Sam Reed, where I thought it was such a great idea. Anytime we see something with vampires, of course we know it's a human world and they usually have their little subsector, underground life going on. But in Daybreakers, it's a vampire world. And we're the group that's living like underground in like a little subsector. They're running out of humans. They are trying to find like a blood substitute, because one thing about vampires, baby, they ain't smart. Like they just get rid of the only food source. But I thought Daybreakers was such a great and inventive idea. Kay, what are some of your favorite vampire story ideas?
I mean, I guess the ones that I kind of same ones. Blade, because I mean, a superhero vampire combination like that was a good idea to me. Vampires versus the Bronx. I thought that was good to see these black kids in the Bronx of New York being able to come together under this for us to have our own version of the Lost Boys. I thought that was a good idea to me. And Anne Rice, Interview with the Vampire, she had a very good idea that is now one of my favorite series, probably going to be one of my favorite series of all time. Shout out Anne Rice.
Because I feel like some ideas might not even make a great movie. Like we had that vampire movie that I think Tyra hated that came out, I think last year, where we had the black kid from NWA movie that was the lead. What was that movie called where the Dracula was on the boat? Dang, what is that movie called? Dracula was on
The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yes. Yeah. I thought that was a great idea. Like I actually enjoyed the movie.
Captain, it was from the captain's logs from Dracula.
Yeah. But I feel like one thing I love is an isolated location, like nowhere to run. So I like the idea of we're in the middle of the ocean, we're on this ship, and Dracula is coming out to get us. I think that's a great idea. But that's why I'm like, some ideas may not necessarily make the best movies, but like, it's because of course movies, obviously, it's a lot that makes a good movie. It's the execution, it's everything. But I just feel like some like Tyra said earlier, when we get vampires, sometimes it's always kind of the same thing. So I have certain vampire ideas that people have been able to come up with that I'm just like, I really love that idea. I love Buffy. Why I got into a huge fight with my supervisor when I was like 19 because she called Buffy a bimbo. I used to love Buffy the Vampire Slayer down. And I thought having Angel, having this vampire with a soul was like a great idea. And if he ever experiences,
you're talking about the Buffy the movie.
No, the TV show.
I was say Buffy was a bimbo. She was a bimbo. Maybe
no. Sarah Michelle Gellar, her TV show. But having this vampire and he has this soul, and if he ever experiences true happiness, he loses his soul. Like stuff like that, I feel like is a new like good idea to bring into the whole vampire world and the vampire lore and all of that stuff. Because we do kind of tend to kind of just like Tyra said, we know what it's gonna be with vampires, child. Like it's always kind of the same little background, the same little situation. So I like when sometimes we can get like a different story. And does anybody remember that vampire movie with Jackie Chan from like a long time ago? Like sometimes they can do like really creative things with vampires. Tyra, do you have any favorite vampire story ideas?
Jackie Chan, I don't know.
Yeah, it was from like I think either the late 80s or the 90s. I gotta find what it's called. Where Jackie Chan, like they had these. It also has some comedy, but they were like these vampire hunters. Let me see what it's called.
Well, I'll say definitely falling back into the hunger, where they can tie vampirism into something else, because with it being the 80s and it was like the height of the AIDS epidemic and everything like that, they were tying this into ageism and cures and stuff like that. And then that's how we get more into it's not just a cult and just vampires. Or even this movie is called The Addiction, and we're tying the bloodlust into just kind of the same lust that you have for any type of drug. It just dealing with that addiction. But just like the coolest, most known situation, because you already said Daybreakers. Daybreakers is pretty cool, but I really like the concept of 30 Days of Nights. I think that was like so much fun, and so it was so simple. It was so simple and believable, because it is Alaska, and we're off in this isolated location, and we're not going to get any sun for this amount of time. And this allows these, like, because we know that that's just a detriment. We can't come out in the sun. So to have that crutch lifted off of vampires and just to let them run rapid, I thought that was pretty effective.
Yes, 30 Days of Night is one of my favorite vampire movies. I love anything where you isolate. It's something about an isolated location and having to fight for your life. No help is coming that I will always love. But the Jackie Chan movie, it's not as old as I thought it was. Maybe the movie just feels old. It's from 2003. It's called The Twins Effect. So you get like martial arts and vampires. I haven't seen it in ages, but to my recollection, when I saw it back in the day, it was actually pretty freaking good. But I think 30 Days of Night does not get it. That could be one of the I never hear anybody talk about 30 Days of Night. Now, when it comes to CGI, I am not a CGI snob. Bad CGI don't even bother me. Like, it will not ruin my experience of a movie. Like, all the people that really be like real snobby about effects. But baby, that blood that they gave us with the blood god, Deacon Frost, that gotta be it's an eyesore. It's an eyesore. Kay, are you a stickler for CGI effects? Like, is that a big deal for you when it comes to your enjoyment of a movie?
I don't know what the big deal is when people complain about stuff like that. I don't know. I guess this wasn't. I don't know. This not an issue. I don't complain about. I don't work behind the scenes. I'm not a special effects artist. Just make the movie good. I don't care. I watch stuff on Shudder. Y'all can't ask me, do I care about CGI?
And I thought I was the only one, because I hear so many people like really nitpicking CGI effects when they watch. It has to I do not care. Like, I'm not a snob when it comes to CGI. It has to really be some bad like eyesore. Like, I remember watching a zombie movie, baby, that had CGI fire, and I'm like, y'all niggas couldn't have just lit a fire on set. Like, why do it has to really be like an eyesore? I thought I was the only one. Like, it's so refreshing to hear you say that, Kay, because I swear, anytime like I watch people videos reviewing stuff, or people in general talk, the CG, the effect, and I be saying here like, it didn't bother me. Like, I like the movie. Like, I don't know, that's not like a big deal to me. So that's so interesting you say that. Tyra, is it about the wigs or is it about the CGI?
It's about both, because I don't want to see no bad CGI. I care. I don't want to see it. I want to see it. CGI has made filmmakers very lazy. When it's something that you could have done, like, it wouldn't have taken you any time, but you decided to use some lazy, tired, ineffective CGI, I'm going to notice and I'm going to talk about it. CGI takes me out of the scene. If it's bad, especially if it's a lot of it, if it's something like, first of all, practical effects forever now and always, okay? You can have a little funky CGI, I don't want to see it, but if you're going to use it, be mindful and use it correctly. I do understand for some budgetary reasons, it's like, hey, but it'd be some of the simplest stuff, and it's just like, why would you do that? It's just idiotic. It matters to me. I don't want to see a tired ass CGI. I'm a stickler.
Now I agree. I think practical effects is always the top, but I don't know. I'm just not that person who like, oh God, that was bad CGI. And like, but like you said, like if it's something, like I said, the example with the movie where they had CGI fire, it looked so terrible, and I'm like, why y'all couldn't have just? How hard is it to get fire? Now I know the budget didn't say y'all couldn't get no damn, couldn't light some fire, child. The caveman could make fire. So like stuff like that, I do agree, but I don't know. I guess it's just, I don't know. I'm not a stickler for CGI, but this CGI in this scene with Deacon Frost bothers my soul, especially with that little picture in the corner at the bottom when he blows up. Oh God, I hate that so bad. Oh my God, it looks terrible. So Tyra, you the CGI stickler. I know you don't like these effects right here.
I know they're tired. Like most of the time I give leeway depending on the era. This is 98, but I don't want to see this right now in 2024. I think that's unacceptable. I'm not going to, just kill Blade because this is just this one momentary thing. I can't think of everything else was pretty practical, and when they did use CGI, it was in the proper way. I don't know, maybe we was running out of time here. We needed to wrap it on up. I don't know, but I don't mind excusing this one situation. I'm not that much of a stickler, but I'm not gonna lie and say like, well, yeah, I don't want to see this CGI in a 2024 film, especially films that are like on the main stage in theaters. Like, what the hell? Where did the money go? Where did the money go? I don't mind it. This is terrible, but it's just this one thing.
Trey Mac, Blade is an older movie. What were people expecting from the CGI? Relax. Absolutely not, Trey Mac, because Blade has some top tier CGI in this movie. And I just went back and revisited and reviewed Species from 98 on my channel. Species actually has some really good CGI in certain scenes. So no, we're not copping out because of the time period, sir. Absolutely not. No, they still can have, even if the technology is new, we still got good CGI back in that time. Now we are going to get into our horror versus segment. But as a reminder, we are all streaming on our channels, whether you are watching from a Slice of Horror who just hit 1K subs, or if you are watching from Struggle Reviews TV or A Night of Horror. Please make sure you are supporting, being active in the chat, hitting like on the video, share the video. Make sure you spread the word about KillerCon. We are here every single Saturday to give you horror and horror talk and have fun and play horror games. And just so you don't forget, support or what, y'all? Put it in the chat. Support or die.
Please! I beg you! Please!
And shout out to the 70 people in here right now. I hope y'all are running up the likes. And as a reminder, we do have our Viewer's Choice segment. If there is a certain question you want to give to the panel, if you have a certain horror topic you would like for us to discuss, or if you want to give us your own horror verses, we will get to all super chats in our Viewer's Choice segment. Please make sure you are supporting us. And if you enjoy KillerCon and wanted to keep going and want to just support us bringing you this content, please make sure you support us in our Viewer's Choice segment.
What's your pleasure?
What's your pleasure, Mr. Cotton? What's your pleasure, Mr. Cotton?
What's your pleasure?
And for my knights watching on my side, please make sure you check out channel memberships. And thank you so much to my current VIP knights. I have a lot of members only content, members only watch alongs, a lot of perks and exclusives. So if you want to get those extra perks and to support me as a content creator, support the channel, please make sure you sign up for channel memberships.
We'll make her one of us. A loving cup, a loving cup. We accept her, one of us. We accept her, one of us.
Goober gobble, goober gobble.
We accept her, we accept her. Google gobble, Google gobble. One of us, one of us. Google gobble.
They're going to make you one of them.
And now we are going to get into our horror versus segment. Now, y'all, I be bugging Tyra behind the scenes. Like, child, I got to put another Killer Con episode together. But the thing I love to put together is the horror versus. I love just thinking up some battles to put together. And of course, to the 62 people in this live, you can give me your versus answers in the chat when we bring up our different categories. Now, we got a lot of different categories we are going to get into. Usually we have a theme for our verses. We got a few themes. We are going to get into Black vampires at the top of this theme. And Hollywood, I'm looking at you. We don't have enough Black vampires, because when I went to put together this verses, I said, baby, why are we with the Negroes that got bit and turned into vampires?
You got Omar Epps in here and Blackula and Blade.
Don't jump ahead. Don't jump ahead.
That's the only couple that we got. We got nothing. I ain't got nothing.
We ain't got but about 5 of them, and all 5 is still.
Omar Epps and Dracula 2000, Akasha, Grace Jones, Blackula, and Blade. That's it.
Y'all, you forgot about Maximilian. You forgot about Terror and True Blood. You're gonna ignore Louis. You're gonna ignore Claudia.
First of all, Louis is big.
Is Louis Black?
Yes.
What kind of Black? Do he got 4 Black grandparents?
His mama Black and they good daddy Black. Okay, I didn't trace anything behind mama and daddy.
Now, Tyra put y'all on. Y'all know we always trying to put y'all on to some gems. She put y'all on to the movie Vamp in a previous Killer Con. We have Grace Jones as a vampire, and of course we have Aaliyah as a vampire. Tyra, which vampire is winning this versus?
Yeah, it's hard. Because they both kind of low-key get the same amount of screen time. Because you know, Akasha shows up pretty late.
I'll never forget watching that movie for Aaliyah when I was younger, and I had to sit through 2 fucking hours. Oh, sorry. Oh, y'all did not mean to curse. I had to sit through 2 hours of that white man to get to Aaliyah. I was so annoyed.
I know Akasha's the most known here, but like Grace Jones, it's so much I appreciate about her. Like her interpretive dance number, doing that intro, just her look. She looks like, oh my gosh, she looks amazing in Vamps. Then I love that she looks absolutely disgusting when she has to. I love the transformation. It's very I know Quentin Tarantino definitely saw Vamps. It was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do From Dusk Till Dawn, because that's what Vamps gives. It's just really, really hard. But I'm gonna go with Akasha. I'm gonna go with Aaliyah because she just looked. It just complimented her so well. She looked gorgeous, and she showed her capability to kind of diverse and grow from, I think, Romeo Must Die, and she had to be ancient and like give first vampire walk-in, and she did a good job. I'm gonna go with Akasha.
Nikki keeps showing a bunch of ugly people in the Dang, see who ugly? Who ugly? Dang. First of all, I make horror content, so I'll be giving y'all clips and montages from horror movies. Are you talking about? You better not be disrespecting the cast of Freaks. Who ugly? Dang, dang, who ugly? I don't believe in calling anybody ugly. Okay.
I know you lying.
When have you ain't never heard me call nobody ugly? When have I used the UGLY word? Okay, shame the devil. Okay, who coming out in this verses for you?
I mean, I don't know. These aren't like in my top vampire movies or on my top list of anything, but I'm just choosing Akasha because I like Anne Rice. That's it. I don't have other reason. I don't know. I don't know. These aren't any of like my fave vamps.
Well, baby, how many black vampires do we have to choose from? I had to get.
I got a list. Did you go to Vampire Diaries? Did you check the originals?
I ain't never heard of no Vampire
Nobody want to see them.
I need good
don't want to see them.
verses.
Don't mean they don't exist.
Okay, I need good verses. I need verses the audience gonna know. Don't nobody know Vampire Diaries.
I mean, people know about people love them. Somebody, her mistreatment on Vampire Diaries is Lord.
Exactly. Y'all was watching Vampire Diaries. Don't do that.
I didn't watch it, but I know about Bonnie and that experience. I didn't get into CW like that.
Now we have Death by Temptation, our succubus, and Tyra. I know this Tyra favorite vampire, baby. We got Blade Mama, played by Sanaa Lathan. I'ma wait on Tyra because this gonna be very hard for her. She loves Sanaa Lathan down bad as a vampire. Kay, who you got coming out in this verses?
I'm gonna go with Blade Mama because this other lady, that ain't no vampire. That's a demon woman. Okay, when I think succubus, I think spawn of Satan. You came from hell. So if we talking vampires, I'm gonna go with Sanaa Lathan. But now if we talking like who was actually like really like messed up, then we gotta go to the old girl from Death by Temptation.
Look, I ain't have a lot of options. I went with the succubus.
If you would have put old girl from Vampire Diaries right up in there.
If you say Vampire Diaries one more time, Kay. Don't nobody know. If I would have popped up the actor from everybody in the chat,
they would have known. They would have known.
We know what Kay be watching, child. Vampire Diaries. Tyra, who you got coming out in this verses? I don't want you to be biased, Tyra. Who you got?
Cynthia Bond. Cynthia Bond. First of all, this was a low budget independent black horror film, and she showed up like she didn't know what kind of film she was in. Cynthia was in the top tier horror, okay, because she was delivering that performance. She was acting. You were in feel with her. She was sensual. She was sexy. She was terrifying. She could get ugly. It was all of that. Cynthia knew what to do. Sanaa was Eric, and I will never forgive her for that. And I don't want to see it again. I can watch Cynthia Bond's performance in Death by Temptation over and over again. I don't want to stomach Sanaa Lathan in Blade once. No.
But she looked gorgeous. This little snapper Sanaa.
We gonna keep doing that. Gonna keep giving people passes. She looked good. She was looking good.
I gotta give some kind of compliment. Now I'm gonna get into K world. Okay, I ain't never seen Twilight and I ain't never seen True Blood, but we got some black actors that became vampires. One is in a really terrible dreadlock wig, but he a vampire and he black, so he up here. Kay, who coming out on top in this verses? We in your world now, Blurred.
Okay, so I read all the Twilight books. Okay, now he was white in the books, and I did watch True Blood all the way to the end. That last season was trash. So if you watch True Blood, just skip the last season because they did your girl Tara real wrong. Okay, they killed her off in like in the first 5 seconds and ain't even turned back. She ain't had no service, no look back, nothing. So they got me upset with that. But I loved her. I actually liked Tara more as a human than a vampire, but I really liked her character in True Blood. So I'm gonna go with Tara here.
Tyra, have you ever seen Twilight or True Blood?
I've seen both, absolutely.
Oh wow, okay.
That's why I know who Bonnie was. I was like, if you got Tara here, you could have put Bonnie here.
I hear people talk about True Blood. I think that show is very popular just because I didn't see it. I never heard of what you said, the Basketball Diaries. What did you call it?
The Vampire Diaries, and then they had a spinoff called The Originals. So there's two of them. You got Vampire Diaries and you got The Originals.
I hear a lot of people talk about True Blood. I've never in my life heard nobody talk about The Originals or the Vampire Diaries ever. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Tara, because why they make LaRon look like that? They tried it. First of all, she ain't got no black people in that book. Okay, ain't no black people up and through that.
And
so
we'll never be any. We'll never be.
Is he getting any blood? Like, why he's so pasty? I didn't like the look. It was just, I didn't like nothing Laurent had going on. I'm gonna go with Tara, even though they did her just as bad as they were doing Bonnie in the Vampire Diaries. Like, they just it wasn't enough service. We was too busy worried about Suki. We could never do nothing if it wasn't for Suki. It had to be all about Suki. It didn't need to be about her all the time. We could have let Tara have, a legitimate love interest and let her, like, they were playing on Tara's top a little too much. But I'm gonna go with Tara.
And I never saw this movie, but I love this actor. I really like him in Gone Baby Gone. Why they did this black man like that? Like, he shouldn't have got up out the makeup chair. Like, this is so bad. And I was thinking that when I was getting these stills, I was like, I wonder how they did these characters in these storylines. And I guess y'all just kind of answered it for me though, child. I know this gonna be hard. This gonna be real hard. But who is the more iconic black vampire here? Omar Epps in Dracula 2000 or Wesley Snipes as the Daywalker? Who you got, Kay? I know it's hard.
So I can't even decide. Like, why? I don't know. This is so hard. This is so hard. I'm just gonna do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It's gonna be on Blade.
Now, let's put some respect on Omar Epps' vampire, okay? Tyra, who you got coming out as the more iconic black vampire here?
Don't play with me right now. Girl, that brother Omar was just there to be the black guy in the film. We're not even gonna put that. We're gonna go with Blade and let Omar race over there. He looked like he been through something. We ain't go do that. We're gonna go with Blade. Yeah.
I hate Vampire, that Dracula 2000 movie so bad. Like, I hate that movie. I hate it. But shout out to Omar Epps, one of the few black vampires we got. Now, I'm back in the blurred world. We got Claudia from Interview with the Vampire TV show. And, of course, we have, y'all know who this is. Do I even he needs no introduction. Vampire in Brooklyn, Eddie Murphy. Who is the more iconic black vampire character, Tyra?
First of all, I just met Claudia, okay? We just met. These a couple of years. Maximilian been around since 95, 96. I'm gonna go with Max. Okay, Eddie is iconic all on his own because of everything that's wrong with his vampire. But that's besides the point. It's iconic and it's beloved and it's funny as hell. We just had a watch along for Vampire in Brooklyn and it still holds up. It's very, very funny. Was Eddie supposed to be funny? No, but that's not the point. It's funny as hell. Claudia, I love you, but I just met you. We ain't family like that yet. Me and Eddie are here.
Okay, who you got coming out in his verses?
Of course, Max is a lot more. If we talking iconic, it's got to be Eddie Murphy. But once I seen that wig slide over that ear, Tyra, I will never unsee it. I wouldn't. And it was there the whole movie. Like, they ain't even said how you put the sideburn over. Like, I got on this headset. The sideburn that's supposed to be on your cheek was on top of his ear. On the ear.
I told you. Don't watch the movies with me. I'm gonna point it out.
And I didn't want to see that, and I couldn't unsee it. And they kept doing these close-ups with him turned to the side, and it got me upset. But I also think that Claudia is a lot more powerful than Max. Like, if they had to go toe-to-toe, Claudia would drop him in a hot second. So I'm going to go with my girl, Claudia De Leon Court.
Yeah, Claudia triple-double OG, okay? Like, all the way down. Now, who is the more iconic vampire hunter? Blade versus Buffy Summers. Who you got, Tyra?
I ain't choosing that white woman. Blade. You know, all respect to Sarah and the crew and them over there. They was doing what needed to be done, vanquishing them folks. Blade. I'm not choosing this white woman. I don't even know why you put her over there. Trying to do a disservice. You should have put her next to another white woman. You should have put her to the next to the Buffy in the movie with Donna Sutherland, and then we could have chose. Why you put her next to this brother? I ain't choosing that lady.
Okay.
You ain't put Louis de Point du Lac on here
because he ain't. Look. It wasn't even nobody to versus Louis against because it ain't no more black vampires.
You see, you do that. We're gonna have to walk. We gotta walk. Yes, it is. Y'all. They out here. You could have went through the ones and black. There was some black ass vampires in Blackest Night. Okay, anybody
see that movie like that? You can't be bringing up them random red box films.
Hey, I saw Blackest Night, but I be trying to put up characters the audience gonna know.
It's gonna be Blade because I ain't trying to look at. Get Buffy off of here.
A little scrawny self.
Exactly.
I need y'all to
Bye,
put
Sarah.
Bye,
Sarah.
Buffy Summers' name. I'm picking Buffy. Buffy was only 15 years old.
Ganja and Hess was another one. Ganja and Hess is a classic.
We talked about Ganja and Hess last episode. The audience never heard of it, so I couldn't put them in the verses.
But over there. She ain't protecting me. I'm trying to be over there like Karen with Blade, but she ain't doing nothing for me.
Look, Buffy saved the world multiple times, had to kill the love of her life to save the world and close the hell mouth, okay?
Blade, so you watched Buffy, which was the same network of the Vampire Diaries.
Child, what the hell was the Vampire Diaries? Because I have never heard of that. I watched Buffy Summers on every single day of the week. Her and Angel and the whole crew and Spike.
I wasn't watching Buffy like that. I was watching Charm and Angel. I watched Angel and Charm.
Now, how you watch the spinoff of Angel, but not the original Buffy?
Because he was fine.
Well, speaking of Angel, who are we choosing in the verses of Spike versus Angelus? Who you got, Kay?
I ain't watched neither one of these shows.
Now, how the hell you watching Twilight, but you not watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Kay, get the hell off my panel.
I ain't want to watch all them white folk.
You watching all the white
black people at on there?
Y'all don't want no black. Well, no. We had a black vampire slayer who came in. Well, one time Buffy died.
And came and went. They always came. They didn't stay for long.
And I hate the way they killed her off. It was not justice for her character. But Kay, look, who you got?
I don't.
You like the skinny guy, so
I don't like people, but I'm gonna go with the guy that got hair like Draco Malfoy.
That's Spike. Who you got, Tyra?
Girl, Spike. They did Spike wrong. Like, girl, Spike had did a whole 180 for Buffy. He was out here like, and she chose. We love Angel, but it was always supposed to be Spike. And the fact that it wasn't, like, that's the tragedy of the century on that show. Like, they did Spike wrong. Spike, when he became somebody and he like, they did a disservice. It should have been Spike. So just because Buffy didn't choose him, I'm definitely choosing Spike, even though I was over there watching Angel.
Yeah, it's definitely now. I love Buffy down, but them final seasons piss me off. But yeah, I don't like what we did with the Spike character. Spike was always cool, great villainous character. I love Spike down. Hate what they did with his character, but it's gonna always be Spike over Angel. I'm sorry. And of course, we got some more. We didn't have a lot of black vampires, so I had to just go with the iconic vampires. Of course, we have the vampire from Fright Night, and we have Kiefer Sutherland from The Lost Boys. Who you got, Tyra?
I gotta go with Kiefer Sutherland. Like, it's Kiefer Sutherland. Like, I can't. That's it. That's all of it. This is Kiefer Sutherland. I'm gonna go with Kiefer Sutherland. Respect to that man. You know, he did what he needs to do, especially his transformation. Ugly as hell, but Kiefer Sutherland all day long.
Who you got, Kay?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with The Lost Boys is a classic for me. It's a must watch every year. So
I guess it's unanimous for Kiefer Sutherland, child.
He made that film. He carried that whole movie on his back.
And of course, we have Bill Paxton as a vampire in there, dark
And we got Selena from Underworld. Which vampire is coming out on top in this versus, Kay?
Underworld.
That ain't her name. That Underworld ain't a vampire.
The girl from Underworld. I don't know nobody named Underworld 1, 2, and 3. It's gonna be her every time.
Who you got in this?
Oh, look at it. If you anytime you dress like Blade, you're gonna win.
No,
This ain't like a fair comparison. Like she should have. You could have put her next to Blade. That's the white woman you could have put over there. It's
Oh, so I could have put her versus Blade. Okay.
Yeah, you could put her over there. I don't know why you put Polo, but for that Polo Ting Ting, she never stood a chance. She got
they both vampire slayers.
Vampire leather weapons. She got guns. What is doing? But no, she's gonna always, even though I love Bill Paxton, he's such a unique vampire. Just their whole dynamic and the premise of Near Dark. But she like how many movies deep? Like all of them sequels and stuff. Like we spent a whole lot of time with Celine. So I'm gonna go with Celine.
And you know what? I love the Underworld franchise, but I would pick Bill Paxton. I thought his character was so cool. And I actually am not the biggest fan of Near Dark. I like the bar scene and like the ending, but it's fine. I'm not crazy about it, but I think Bill Paxton is a standout character in Near Dark. He is so fun.
He's a standout in anything he's in.
Which vampire?
Blade.
What vampire is coming out on top? Blade or what was this lady name, child?
I don't know, but that's
I'm just gonna say Selma Hayek. She had a name in the movie, but I can't think of it right now. Selma Hayek in From Dusk Till Dawn versus Blade. Which vampire is more iconic, Tyra?
It's Blade. I'm picking Blade, but just to take a second for Selma. Selma was fine as hell. Selma was in this movie for all of 5 minutes and showed up and did what the hell she needed to do. The scene, the snake, the fire, the flames, the band, the shimmy, the titties were there. Selma was giving titties and it was gorgeous. She was beautiful. Can't put your foot on me, girl, because get your foot away from my face. But other than that, gorgeous. Like Selma, that scene is iconic, but it's just that scene. Blade is Blade.
And I found it so interesting. Selma Hayek actually was like definitely afraid of snakes. She had a huge snake phobia that she had to work through for the role. You cannot tell she is not completely comfortable with that snake. I thought that was really interesting. Kay, who is coming out as the more iconic vampire here?
I don't nobody give a damn about her in that movie. She ain't important. He got a whole movie. The movie ain't named Selma. The movie is named Blade. Unless the movie is named after you, you ain't no iconic. Get out of here. You might as well put him up against Maximilian and that hairpiece covering his ear.
Hey.
Thank you, Shaka. Santanico Pandemonium. There we go. I couldn't, child. That was a mouthful. My brain hurt. Y'all know I got a little small brain. I couldn't think of that. Now, we are going to get into our opening verses because, of course, we know Blade has an iconic opening scene. We have the opening of Halloween, and we have the opening of The Thing. John Carpenter versus John Carpenter. Okay, which horror opening is coming out on top in this verses?
Halloween, because this kid just went in to slaughter his sister, and came in a clown mask, which was the beginning of the end. And look at this cute little kid, this innocent kid, and then we get grown up Michael in his mask. Like I admire this opening scene, and I don't think that this gets recognized enough for me.
I think it does. People go up for Halloween. I'm not much of a fan of Halloween franchise, but I think this is an iconic opening.
The franchise, but I feel like they be forgetting about little Mikey.
Well, I would consider it a classic horror opening. Tyra, which horror opening is coming out on top in this verses?
Oh, it's definitely Halloween. Like, The Thing is The Thing, but The Thing don't start happening till The Thing really gets there. We're just chasing this dog because he knows what it means to try to chase this dog down. We don't know what's going on with that, But when it's revealed that the slaughter is happening by little Michael, this is an iconic horror scene. Like in general, I am a part of the community that goes up for this Halloween. Like I love it. It's no comparison for me.
I would go with The Thing. I cannot believe y'all. I do think this is a great opening. Like you have the camera POV, and the next thing you know, after the murders happen, then we see the mask come off and it's a kid. But the opening of The Thing, where we're kind of in the middle of some action, you got this dog fleeing, you got the helicopter, they shooting at the dog. We don't know what's going on. I think that's the opening for me, child. TP, positive affirmations, Nikki. We don't tolerate self-slander from one. My mama be getting on me so bad. I forgot what live it was where I would like put everybody up to tell the audience what they was doing. And I said something, I can't remember what I said exactly, but I said something like, I'm not gonna put me up there because y'all don't need to see my ugly face. My mama was so upset I did. I just, y'all know, don't take nothing I say seriously. I just be having fun. Like I just be saying, I just say stuff. I don't really be serious. And first of all, I have to check and see if the ladies even saw these movies, but we have the opening of Long Legs and we have the opening of Oddity, which I thought were two really recent, iconic horror openings. Tyra, did you see both of these movies?
Yes, I did.
Which opening is coming out on? Well, first of all, did you like the openings of Long Legs and Oddity? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Great. Which one you got coming out on top?
I'm gonna go with Oddity. I thought Oddity was executed really, really well. Like they're both pretty good as far as openings, but the Oddity was just above Long Legs just a little bit for me. I was immediately like really into Oddity, and I can kind of say the same for Long Legs, but I just knew that this was Nicolas Cage, so I was just kind of getting into look at him transform, and I was getting into I was looking at details. I wasn't really just diving into the scene. With the Oddity, I didn't, this is a completely different premise. Actor like him, these eyes child, it was just like, well, what the hell's going on here? Like, you think you might want to listen? I want to ruin it for nobody. But yeah,
no spoilers. They are new movies.
I was getting into like, oh, this nigga, look at Nicholas out there in the streets. I was all proud. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, at this point, Oddity is my number one favorite movie this year. I am obsessed with that movie. But Equalizer, but The Thing was not a vampire movie. Equalizer, y'all got to catch up. Yeah, we did Black Vampires, and then we did Vampire Slayers, and then we did Vampire. Now we in opening sequences of horror. Okay, y'all got to keep up. Now we're doing opening sequences. It all ties into Blade. Blade has an iconic opening, so now we are doing a versus of horror opening sequences. Kay, I know you saw Long Legs. You talked about it on your channel. Have you seen Oddity yet?
Yeah, she talked about that one too.
Okay, I must have missed that one. Okay, I saw you talked about Long Legs. Which opening do you have coming out on top here?
Yes, I actually the review on my channel has clips from the opening of Oddity. Mm-hmm. Because I kind of asked people if they were in this situation, would you believe this guy? If this person came to your door in the middle of the night, does this look like somebody you're gonna believe? And based off that alone, I gotta give it to Oddity because I don't know what I would do in that situation. Because look at this man. I don't know if he's telling the truth, but because of urban legend, I think I might believe him.
Yeah, I think that opening of Oddity is literally brilliant. Like, it's masterful. I was obsessed and hooked at the very beginning. Darfelina, speaking of Oddity, are you still doing the watch along, Nikki? Oddity premiered on Shudder Friday. I was supposed to do a watch along. I flaked. I am so sorry. Y'all, I got caught up doing a video about a movie you would not even believe I'm doing a video on. I watched the movie It Ends With Us. Y'all know romance is not my ministry. All I knew was it was a rom-com about an abusive relationship. And I said, what the hell? Let me check this out. And I saw it. And I went down that rabbit hole and did a video on it, which will be up soon. But yes, we will be doing our Oddity watch along. But we already have our watch along scheduled for tomorrow. Y'all know I ain't doing nothing after KillerCon. So I will update you guys on when we will be doing the Oddity watch along. Bear with me, y'all. Y'all know I flake. I'm sorry. Love me anyway. And getting more into iconic openings, we have the opening of Get Out and the opening sequence of From Dusk Till Dawn, which of course we're talking horror openings. And Dusk Till Dawn, of course, as we know, it gets into like a different genre with the vampires and the horror in the second half. But the opening of the movie is very crime thriller. But look, it's From Dusk Till Dawn, so I'm gonna count it. Kay, which horror opening is coming out on top for you?
I'm sorry, for me, it's got to be Get Out because that's scary for me. Okay, to just be minding your black ass business and somebody scoop you up in the middle of the night, the way they drag Lakeith's skinny ass and put him in that car, child. That's a real life. That's more. That makes it for me because that's real life horror because that be happening for real.
I think that is a really great opening, especially the fact that we're opening with a male as a victim and the whole, like you said, very true to life. But babe, I gotta go from Dusk Till Dawn. That opening is so good. Like, I never said help us. Like, I just love that opening. Tyra, which opening sequence do you have coming out on top?
Get Out. I rarely think about the opening. I think about Selma when I think about From Dusk Till Dawn. I ain't thinking about them walking out of here, like, not at all.
Man, I know this opening is so good. I always gotta just be by myself over here. And we have the opening sequence in Scream, Tyra's least favorite franchise, but I know she appreciates Scream. And we have the opening in 28 Weeks Later. Tyra, which opening you got coming out on top?
Oh, definitely Scream. Scream.
Oh, Scream.
Yeah. The first movie is a good movie. I never said I ain't like that first one. I just don't like, I don't go up for the franchise like everybody does. I don't think it's all that. The first Scream is done incredibly well, and the iconic opening is why I, hold it above the rest. It seems like with every other film, we were trying to reach this, peak of excitement for an opening again and recapture it, and we just can't because it was what it was for what it was. I love oh shit. I love that, but I'm gonna go with Scream.
Tyra, not Tyra. Okay, we know you want your husband to die if he is in Dom's position. Which opening you got coming out on top?
Although I do love the opening scene of Scream because that will forever go down in history. That what's your favorite scary movie? But it's got to be 28 Weeks Later because I'm a zombie fan, and just the fact that he was sprinting away from that house with his wife waving through the window, I'm never gonna forgive him for that. I'm never gonna forgive him because the only person to agree with me is Ken. Okay, he was supposed to go back and get her.
And I feel like I would have to go at 28 Weeks Later. I just feel like it's the intensity, it's the fast pace of 28 Weeks Later. Like, Don literally, this is why I say Don not the villain for leaving his wife, because Don literally makes it out by the skin of his teeth. Like, what does that saying mean? Why would there be, what's the skin of your teeth? But I just feel like that opening is so freaking, like, your heart is pounding off rip the way that opening does. And with the way he ran away, oh shit. It just really, really works. And we have the opening from the Midnight Meat Train versus the opening of, my mind is blanking, the Guillermo del Toro movie. My mind is blanking. Kay, have you seen these movies?
What is this other one?
Midnight Meat Train, and it's a Guillermo del Toro movie. Let me look it up because my mind is blanking right now, with Katie Holmes. And when we talked on KillerCon before, I said it has the most iconic ending sequence. Oh, what is this movie called? Talk amongst yourselves. Say something, child. I gotta look.
I don't know, but look, so when you don't know, then I probably don't know then. So
I do know the movie. The name just escapes me right now, but it's so iconic. It has an iconic.
If we don't know what it is, first of all, this is a choice for Midnight Meat Train. I ain't know what the hell that was, and I love Midnight Meat Train. But just for me,
the opening when he looks through the thing and the guy is hacking away.
Yeah,
Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. That's the movie on the right. I couldn't think of the name. Don't Be Afraid of the Dark is iconic. It has an iconic opening sequence, one of the best in horror, and it has one of the greatest ending sequences in horror. Am I the only person that saw Guillermo del Toro's Don't Be Afraid of the Dark?
Hey, I think I went to sleep on that.
Oh my God, Jesus.
It's been a while ago. But however, I love me some Midnight Meat Train. I'm gonna go with that. Like, I love Midnight Meat Train. I watch it all the time. I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, have you seen Don't Be Afraid of the Dark?
I ain't got a dog in this fight. I ain't seen it one.
You know what? I'm gonna do a whole killer con on that movie just so y'all can watch it. This is literally the greatest opening scene and the greatest ending. This is not.
I saw the opening scene and I still went to sleep.
Tyra, you just a hater. Like, you just a hater. How could you? That opening is so. How you go to sleep on that opening, Tyra?
I ain't never go to sleep on Meat Train.
And I'm not much. I feel like when the first watch of Midnight Meat Train, I was blown away, but I have not really cared for it on rewatch. Once you know that ending, for me, it loses all of its luster. But I need some better panelists, because why y'all don't know? Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
So
Only Afraid of the Dark I know came on Nickelodeon.
No, that's Are You Afraid of the Dark? This is Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
I'm sure it's good. Daryl, I fell asleep. I'm sorry. You know, he be trying to create a world. I got tired. I went to sleep.
It's Guillermo del Toro. Like, he's like one of the most iconic directors.
It is. I just Pan's Labyrinth, or I'm going to sleep.
Wait, you went to sleep on Pan's Labyrinth?
No, I watched Pan's Labyrinth. I said Pan's Labyrinth, or I'm probably going to sleep.
Oh Lord, I'm always just by myself, child. Now, have y'all seen Final Destination?
What? Yeah, I heard of it.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, prefers Final Destination 2 anyway.
Have y'all seen Ghost Ship?
Yeah,
Yes.
you see that trash.
Kay, which opening scene is coming out on top in this verses?
I'm trying to think, because we talked about both of these when we talked about horror movie openings.
Yes, we did.
Although Ghost Ship has the more brutal one for me, because that was just like that one string ripping through everybody was wild. But I feel like Final Destination is something more that can happen. Y'all know I'm a sucker for a psychic in a movie. You throw a psychic in there, this automatic gonna get a few points from me.
You was talking about Friday the 13th with the psychic. You love a psychic.
I love a psychic in the movie. Devin Sawa was psychic in Final Day. He had them visions, and the vision came to life, and they didn't want to listen to him. So, but psychic tell me something.
Go with Ghost Ship. I think that Ghost Ship opening just it gives me life. I am so obsessed. Tyra, which opening is coming out on top for you?
I got to go with Final Destination just because I can't watch Ghost Ship past the opening. Like, I have no investment or interest to. It's not a good film. It just has a great opening. Final Destination is a good film, so I'm going to go with that one by default.
I think Ghost Ship. I like Ghost Ship. I've rewatched that 100 times.
Nikki. It's okay, baby. Everybody gets one.
I just don't like how they did Isaiah Washington. And we have Evil Dead versus Evil Dead on the openings. We have 2013 and Evil Dead Rise. Kay, which Evil Dead opening scene is coming out on top?
2013.
Yeah.
That movie, and I didn't watch the 2013 version until like late, but once I did watch it, I'm like, I wish I would have sooner. That movie to me is underrated, because I didn't. Maybe it's just me, and I didn't hear about it when everybody else did. But I feel like I didn't appreciate that movie like I should have.
I'll rip your soul out, Daddy. Tyro, which opening do you have coming out on top?
And we're just going on openings, right? We're not supposed to be.
Yes, just opening. Then
I gotta go with the recent one. Like, that title card of Evil Dead Rising in the back is just, it's perfect. Like, I really appreciate detailed stuff like that. And I don't even like it's not outdoing this intro, just that Evil Dead Rise is coming up behind that mountain. That was just perfect for me, along with the score. I'm gonna go with that one, just for that one thing.
And I feel like when I think about these openings, I would go with 2013. I think the whole of the opening sequence is great. But with Evil Dead Rises, honestly, I think the title card and her coming out the ocean is iconic. But the whole just scene, I don't really go up for that. When her friend is in the room reciting a book in a demonic voice, like I'm saying, like, girl, if you don't run the hell out of this room, I don't know. And then when she let the boy jump in the water, like, girl, your scalp got ripped off, not your tongue. Why don't you say something?
We're just a decade removed from 2013 and Evil Dead. Right, that one thing I was like, oh, we got something in horror. I really like that back there. It's just nitpicky. It's just nothing good. I really appreciated that in recent years, which is sad.
Yeah, I mean, the title card is iconic for a reason. Her just floating up out that water and that title card. I mean, that is literally one of the greatest title cards like ever. Am I the only person in the world that saw Underwater?
No, I saw Underwater.
Okay, we got the opening scene in Underwater, and we have the opening scene in Jeepers Creepers 2. Which opening is coming out on top for you, Tyra?
I like Jeepers Creepers 2. Underwater is a really pretty good film, but just playing, with the creeper and like, did it move? He didn't move. No, it moved. Like, and just them going like, what the hell is my son's gone? Like, he's gone. Like, it's good, and it puts us right back into the universe of Jeepers Creepers like we did with the first film. So I'm gonna go with that one.
Kay, did you see Underwater? I think it came out like 2020, 2018, somewhere in that realm.
I seen it. I don't remember the beginning because I still watch stuff on like cable TV, and when you turn on something, you don't always catch the beginning. You just see, oh, it's on, and you watch it. So I don't remember the beginning of Underwater, but so I'm just gonna go with Jeepers Creepers just based off of that. I don't remember it.
That opening of
might be good, but I don't remember it.
Because it literally opens where Kirsten Stewart, I was gonna say Kirsten Dunst. Kirsten Stewart is brushing her teeth, and the whole ship just blow the hell up. Like, we get straight into it. But I don't know. This is a hard one for me because I like to get into straight with the action with that ship blowing up. But like Tyra said, when they out in that cornfield and you looking at that damn scarecrow, I think that opening is so good. We have the opening scene in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and the opening scene in It 2019? 2017? Okay, which opening scene do you have coming out on top?
It, because that they took that child out in the worst way.
I was so mad. He looked like he was in a shark attack crawling down the street.
That's just like they took that baby out in the wrong way possible, and wasn't no adults out there to help him at all. So yeah.
Well, it was one adult on the porch. Just I don't know what the hell. I still don't get what was wrong with the adults in this world. Tyra, which opening is coming out on top for you?
I'm gonna go with it, even though I really love that opening because I told you, like, he was like, I was in the kitchen, like, go back and watch it. It's funny. Go back and watch the opening. It's really, I really love that opening. But that opening with it just really set the tone that this is not your made for TV it anymore. Like, we showing everything and we're being very volatile with it. George's arm is ripped off and he's crawling away in the street. It's like, oh, this is not, the Tim Curry. It set the tone and the tempo for the movie.
Trent, what parents let you go outside in the rain? My mom used to let me go out in the rain all the time when I was a kid. I was like, Mama, can I go outside? She used to put a shower cap over my hair and she would put my raincoat on and she would let me go out in the rain. Kids love playing in the rain, child.
My mom didn't play that mud stuff. So
I didn't say mud. I said rain.
When rain causes mud, you can't let it rain and then not have mud.
Well, you out in the country. I didn't have no rain and no mud in Florida. I was on the pavement. But I am only just getting on the bandwagon of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Tyra recommended it. I played it like Tyra said. I was in the kitchen. I was doing all kind of stuff. I missed the opening, so I went back. This first of all, I feel like the sequel is better than the original. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. I love this sequel. It is so good. But this opening scene of Texas Chainsaw Massacre for me, I'm putting that over it. Like, I just love it's so bonkers. The whole movie. It's all the stuff that I don't like about 80s horror, but it works. We have the opening scene. Does anybody know this shot?
That's It Follows, and is that the Wishmaster?
Yes, Tyra. Yes, I did not know if y'all better get that. Well, I knew you would know It Follows because that's just an iconic shot. But I was like, if I get a shot from that party, are they gonna recognize that? But yes, we have the opening scene from Wishmaster and the opening scene or sequence, not just scene. And It Follows. I hate It Follows. That is not my ministry. But Wishmaster. Oh my God. I love that movie. The franchise is terrible, but Wishmaster is iconic. Tyra, which opening do you have coming out on top?
I love Wishmaster. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that. It Follows is uniquely its own thing, and it follows the tempo of the rest of the film. But first of all, these are two like different, really, really different films, genre and just aesthetic wise and everything. I'm gonna go with the Wishmaster. Those sequences are where the movie shines, and the opening is pretty strong. It sets the tempo for who the Wishmaster is. So I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah, Wishmaster, the party at the beginning and then the party scene at the end is just masterful. And I don't know. And I feel like I should revisit It Follows. I only saw it one time when it came out. I hated it. It's just so stereotypical in a lot of ways. You got this girl running in them damn heels. Girl, if you don't take them goddamn heels off and run, Kay, which opening is coming out on top for you?
It Follows, because I guess I didn't know what she was doing in the beginning. Like we didn't get no backstory. She just ran out of the house and ran and hopped in the car and then ran to the beach. So I guess because I don't know how we got here, and that made me want to watch the movie.
Yeah, I do. And I feel like I like that kind of elusiveness of like, what is she even running from? But I just didn't care for the movie. Am I the only person that thinks that movie is so dumb? Like, you literally get a curse if you have sex with this girl, and the boy is mad that she wouldn't have sex with him. Baby, you will get cursed. Like, it's just so stupid. I'm like, you mad she won't pass the curse to you, you idiot? We have the opening of The Devil's Rejects and the opening of Constantine. Which opening is coming out on top for you, Kay?
Constantine.
That is a great opening.
I like Keanu Reeves, and to see Keanu Reeves in a movie about exorcisms. And
no, wait a minute, Kay. We ain't talking about the movie. We just Keanu wasn't in the opening.
He kind of was to me. It led in that whole opening, and it started with him smoking that cigarette and going to the exorcism.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess I'm more so talking about that immigrant getting hit by that car child. I was like, oh, Lord. And then he got up. But Constantine is a great opening. And even when they get into, like Kay said, him trying to do that exorcism. And wasn't it like this? I haven't seen it in ages, but then they have like this mirror over the girl that the demon went into. Yeah, it is very strong. Tyra, which opening is coming out on top for you?
I'm going to say Constantine just because I haven't seen The Devil's Rejects in a long time and I don't remember the opening.
I would go with The Devil's Rejects. And I do not like House of a Thousand Corpse. I do not like Rob Zombie very much as far as like his film style and stuff. Yeah. But the opening of The Devil's Rejects, where you're looking at the crime scene photo of the dead girl and it transitions to the real life dead girl being dragged through the woods. And then we have the Firefly family holed up in this house with the cops outside for the shootout. Oh my God. It's a hard choice, but I would have to go with The Devil's Rejects because that opening is iconic. Who is the more iconic side character in Blade? Y'all know I set this stuff up for Tyra, right?
Girl.
Kay, who is the more iconic side female character in Blade? Karen?
We using this word iconic too loosely. Okay. Iconic is saved for things that are actually iconic.
If they black, I'm gonna say iconic.
But I mean, that was a side character. I mean, his mom was just there. She wasn't a side character. She was just there.
I just wanted to put them together. Don't nitpick my side character word.
But you're right. I mean, she do look good in the movie. But you got to go with the doctor here, the good doctor here.
I just wanted to mess with Tyra. Tyra, who coming out on top of this?
Girl, it's Nabush Wright. So now I like to can't act like that. And we gonna keep giving her passes for being pretty. She couldn't act in this movie, okay? I don't want to see her again. You better not have her nowhere else. I'm gonna go with Karen. I'm gonna go Karen.
Being pretty gets you far in life, Sanai. I just had to throw that in to mess with Tyra.
Oh Lord, now you got this nigga here.
You know, I got the white girl on my shirt today, so I'm just going up for the white folk today, okay? And Tyra said, don't put no white folk up next to Blade, but I gotta do it. Who coming out on top? Deacon Frost or Blade, Tyra?
Blade. Eric Blade. Is that what you call him? Eric Blade? Eric Brooks is coming out on top. Okay? Eric. I don't know why you even put this NSYNC member next to him. Blade, child.
Can I hear from the blurred, please? Who coming out on top? The Deacon Frost character or the Blade character?
Deacon didn't even come on top of the movie. So I don't even know how you verse him between the person who took him down through there. Blade already showed you who came out on top. Brooks. Eric Brooks.
Who is the better actor to play Blade? Wesley Snipes or Mahershala Ali? K.
We don't know. I don't know. Go be in Blade. I don't know.
Is it even a question? It should just be Wesley.
I can't say that because we haven't seen him. We haven't seen him because we know this is a good actor. This is an Academy Award actor. So I have to give. I can't judge it until I give him a chance.
You just saying that because it's Mahershala.
Maybe, but I mean, we got to get what is the kid in it.
Okay, so what if I said would Sanaa Lathan make a great Akasha if they wanted to revamp the movie? Would you say, "Oh, I don't know, I haven't seen her do it," or would you say, "Hell no"?
She's too old.
See, no, you haven't seen her do it. You haven't given her a chance.
Well, yes, we see
for Mahershala is not a spring chicken. Mahershala is like 60.
No, that's Wesley. That's like 60.
No, Mahershala is about 60.
He ain't no about 60.
Baby, let me look. Mahershala is 60.
At this point, I don't even trust you because you had to sit up there, Eric Blade, bright as day, trying to tell everybody this who this man is. Who is Eric Blade? Who is Eric Blade? I don't know that man.
He's not. I think he's in his 50s. He's not. He's
that's about 60.
No, that's different. That's saying 20 is about 30.
Mahershala's anywhere between 49 and 50. I don't know what age, but it's somewhere right there. 49 and 50. He's 40, 45 and 50. He's in between there.
Let me see.
Not you going to
How old is Mahershala Ali?
He's 50 exactly.
Okay, he's 50. That still ain't a spring chicken. So Wesley only 10 years older than him. That is not
only
30.
10.
Because ain't Wesley 60?
Wesley's over 60, I believe.
No, I don't think so. The point is they look the same damn age to me.
Wesley's 62.
Wow, he 12 years older, child.
Okay, so that's that. So if that 10 years is a lot, ask R. Kelly. Them 10 years matter.
Oh Lord.
I don't know what I gotta do, but I'm finna find a way to put that in one of my commercials. Because why the hell did you say that? Tyra, who is the better choice for Blade?
It's Wesley. Okay. Wesley is Blade. Wesley is Blade. It's gonna always be Wesley. If Mahershala does a great job, hopefully he makes his own. It's not Wesley, it's his interpretation of Blade. Wesley is Blade. That's it.
Thank you. Because the blurred is just she betraying the crew. She betraying the crew right now.
Not the crew, child.
You might lose your blurred status. But that is our horror versus segment, which was a lot of fun messing with Tyra. And now we are going to get into our final segment of today's episode. That is our viewer's choice segment. And just to remind you, if you have a horror versus, horror question, or horror topic you would like for the panel to discuss, then just add it to your super chat and we will get to it for our viewers choice segment. Dane C, no Blade slander will be tolerated. Who's slandering Blade? No one's slandering Blade. My worst scene in Blade is Blade Trinity. That's not a scene.
You know what he did.
They just wanted to control. That's all.
You know what he did. His worst scene / movie was Blade Trinity. Don't. You know what he said. You know what he said. It's okay, Dan.
Shout out to Dane C. No Sanaa slander will be. I'm with you, Dane. I don't slander Sanaa.
Nobody cares. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it. I don't care. I don't care. Trent
King. What ethnicity was Blade as a surname?
Eric Blade. Clearly, it was Black Trent.
It wasn't Black because that wasn't his name.
I'm sure sitting here like I could have sworn that they called the man Blade the whole damn movie. They called him Eric and they called him Blade. So I thought his name was Eric Blade. I mean, ain't Jesus' last name Christ? I don't know.
please, Nikki, no. How no slander. In your case, Dane, no slander is gonna be tolerated. We're not gonna act like Sticky Fingers and them was doing what needed to be done with that Blade series. Thank you for the $2, Dane. Don't do that. Just stop it.
I don't acknowledge the 30 Days of Night TV show, and I don't acknowledge the Blade TV show. Where am I at?
Dane with his theory.
Oh, question. I have a theory. I don't think vampires drink blood for food. I think blood is like cocaine to them. Do y'all agree or disagree? I absolutely disagree because vampires will literally die of starvation if they don't get blood. They need blood to live the same way we need food to live and the car needs gas to run. They don't just get high. You can live without sniffing some cocaine, child. They cannot live without blood. What do you think, Tyra?
Absolutely, I was gonna say the same thing. Like if you need something to live, it would be different if it was a choice. Like if you're gonna waste away as soon as you don't get some blood and die, then you need it. It's not just an addiction like cocaine. It's a necessity.
Yeah. What do you think, Kay?
That's they based. Y'all know me and my nerdy history. The idea of the vampires came from people back in the day who had a blood disorder. And that their blood didn't produce like a certain type of hemoglobin, and therefore they needed this other type. They needed like normal blood to survive, and that's kind of how the concept of vampires kind of came about. And so it's absolutely out of the necessity to actually live.
Hey, we went around the corner for that.
Just so he had to know, like the history was there. Like it ain't about them being addicted to it; they needed to live.
He went around the corner to the grocery store for some bread and came back for that.
Yeah. As my mother said, she went around the block to go across the street. But and anytime, have y'all seen the vampire movies where they like add blood to like cocaine and stuff? Like they be putting blood and all kind of stuff. Trey Mack, as far as iconic characters, we can never forget Sho'nuff from The Last Dragon. Who's the baddest? Sho'nuff. Who's the prettiest? Sho'nuff. Ain't that your movie, Tyra?
Sho'nuff.
I never said Last Dragon. I don't hate it. Last Dragon is not like my movie. Not at all.
Wait, I'm mixing you up with that live I did with Sister Girl on Film. She was the one who loved that movie.
Yeah, it's cool. I appreciate it. I'm there for vanity, child. I was always there for vanity.
Thank you so much to everyone who participated in the viewer's choice. Thank you to everyone who was here with us for KillerCon today. And I am going to give the ladies a chance to let you guys know where you can find them, what they have coming up. And I am going to go to the resident blurred who will not let me in the club. And I just screwed myself by calling Wesley Snipes Eric Blade. I guess I'm just going to always
never make it.
Kay, just hit 1K. Kay hit 1K. She hot in these YouTube streets. Make sure you go over to her channel and support her in everything she's doing. Kay, let the people know what you have coming up.
See, I'm gonna give y'all full Blade, okay? Because I came out of it because y'all wouldn't pay me. See, I'm not gonna give y'all this no more. I've been here for 3 hours giving you my best Blade, giving y'all history, comic book lessons and stuff. Ain't no supers, no memberships. Come on over here, okay? Y'all got me up here held hostage. Y'all, but I'm a bladeologist, so I'm gonna give y'all everything blade no matter what. Okay, this was light work for me, but thank y'all for coming up and showing love today. I would really love if you hit subscribe and like this video, and think about the memberships on the channel. We got a lot of stuff coming. The channel members have chosen Black horror as the theme for this Halloween. This upcoming Tuesday, following the review of From, we are going to do a Halloween kickoff to celebrate Halloween season starting. Costumes, some games. It's going to be a fun time with a good, panelist of people, just to have some fun together. So hit like, hit subscribe, and we're going to see y'all, because we got Grotesquerie right after this. Spooky Saturdays.
Not held hostage, Kay. Tyra, over in the struggle, tell the people what you have coming up and where they can find you.
We will literally be back in about 20 minutes for
on back.
We'll be right back for Grotesquerie episodes 1 and 2 to just discuss them and just really just discuss some theories and just the characters overall. Of course, tomorrow is for Fight Night. We're on episode 6, I believe, or hopefully it's 7. No, what episode are we on, Kay? 7?
Child, I think we on 6.
Damn. 6. And we're going to be, discussing that, as well as 3 Women not too long after that one. And, Mondays for Insecure, Wednesdays are for watch-alongs. Be sure that you're a part of the memberships to be there for the Wednesday watch-alongs, as well as my middle tier, and us getting into how Stella got her groove back and breaking that down. Us, just me and you, like Tony. Don't miss that. I see y'all in 20 minutes. Be over there. Come back, like Craig said. Do that.
Now, who said come back?
You don't be watching Friday when Craig said come back.
Oh, well, you didn't say it the way he said it, so I didn't catch it.
Come back. Lord. Do everything, man.
And thank you so much to everyone who came here with us. I need y'all showing up every Saturday and supporting and pushing KillerCon. So, just like Tyra told us in the other live, the things that are not very successful, we can't really go forward with. So we need y'all showing up, supporting KillerCon so the series can continue. So it's worthwhile for these ladies to show up with me every Saturday. We need y'all running up the likes, running up the comments, running up the super chats if you are enjoying the series. And
tell a friend, and then tell them to come on in here. It's October coming up on Tuesday. We need y'all in here.
Yes, make sure. Tell everybody, because y'all know YouTube ain't finna push the video. YouTube ain't gonna tell nobody about us. So make sure, if you like what you are getting here on KillerCon every week, make sure that you tell someone. Make sure you show up. Make sure you are supporting us, supporting the channel, supporting the content. And I will maybe see you in the next one if I ever come back, because I don't know. Y'all don't be showing up. I saw y'all in Tyra comments telling people to hit like and support. In K, ain't nobody in my comments telling people to support. But it's
I went over there and did it.
Yeah, K gonna show up for me, but I didn't see the subs doing it. They,
that's what happened when you ain't in the fold. We will talk backstage. Y'all have a good night.
My channel ain't got nothing to do with y'all fold. Y'all, they pay me dust just like y'all do. The subs pay me dust. Tyra, they didn't want me to be on From Tuesday. This how they do me, y'all. I was, y'all
gonna see her Tuesday. Tuesday. At least she gonna be there. She gonna be dressed up and everything, y'all. Nikki gonna be out here showing out for Halloween. Just watch her.
I was begging Tyra and Ashley them to let me do From, and Kay said, nah, it ain't happening. Deuces.
Don't listen to her.
Goodbye.